right now.
No.
24 hours.
Oh yes, totally. Woo!
So normally we do a little bit more of an organized masterclass, but I think we're going to keep it a little bit lighter today, and we weren't able to do questions in the earlier panel, so we're going to leave time to do that today too. But basically, our classes stemmed out of the questions from you guys. We travel all over the world, and everybody always says, the very first thing they say is, how do I get into voiceover? Or, my friend told me I have a good voice, or, you know, is it just like, you know, you're just talking into a microphone, how hard can that be? And then for people who are interested in voiceover, they end up going out there and they're hit by predators who want to take their money and offer them all kinds of stuff that they really shouldn't be. And many people who are teaching voiceover are not even in the industry. They may have had a little bit of theater experience, they may have had acting experience in other areas, but they really don't understand our industry. So we decided that we're gonna break this down and deconstruct everything that we do from the very beginning. And so I've been teaching voiceover classes online in webinar fashion, so you can join from anywhere in the world. I've been doing that for about a year. And then Mary Elizabeth came in, and she's, oh, by the way, I'm Steve Bloom, and this is Mary Elizabeth McGlynn. Yeah, I guess I should have done that in the beginning, right? We're voice actors. She's also a voice director. One of my favorite in the whole world. And she directed Cowboy Bebop, the American version of that.
Wolf's Rain, Digimon, Naruto, now She-Ra, the series.
Star Wars Resistance.
Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so...
Unikitty.
So she was my director on Cowboy Bebop. It was her first directing job, my first leading role. And we've been friends for 20 years. We are now engaged. I'm so lucky.
Oh!
We're engaged in illegal activities.
Right, exactly. But in the course of these classes, I wanted to bring in a real director for my classes, and we brought in Mary one night, and she just crushed it. And it's so great to actually have a director in the room when you are learning this stuff. It's really helpful. And then we decided that we put together a little mini masterclass for the convention. So that's what you're going to be exposed to today. It's just a little teeny tiny snippet of what we do. And it's really the foundational structure. Yes.
Which is also redundant.
From which everything else is built. And many times when you go into voice acting classes, they put a microphone up and they bring you up and they just roll right into it. But I think that there's so much more psychologically that is critically important to working in anything in the arts, and we applied it directly to voiceover.
And what's fun is that we come from this two completely different worlds in terms of education. And everybody says, well, do you have to go to college to do this? Do you have to go to graduate school? I did. I went to college because I was scared of going out in the world. I went to grad school because I was even more scared of going out in the world. I just didn't want to deal with like the absolute reality of reality. So I went through the heinous experience and wonderful experience of graduate school. 7 years of higher education gave me a lot of tools that I didn't really understand until I started directing. But you don't have to choose that route. You don't have to. Steve's completely organic actor. Never studied in his life. Saved a lot of money, but not doing that. But it's a totally organic way of approaching acting and approaching finding a voice for a character. So between the two of us, we sort of come at it from both sides, and I think really balance each other out in terms of how to build a character, how to find your voice. Because it's not just about being a voice actor, it's about finding your voice in life, for instance, and being confident and getting out there, because everybody has a right to speak. Everybody has a voice, so everybody has the right to get out there and speak your piece. Whether you're heard or not is another thing, but at least you'll know that you've gotten a chance to speak, because we all have that right. So it's about confidence and finding that place inside of you that inspires you enough to speak and to say what you need to say in life. And that's very important, whether you become an actor or not.
Yes, and what I need to say is that I didn't study in the traditional sense. but I've been studying this craft for 30 years in the field. It was just a completely different way of doing it. In fact, I study more now than I ever have. And one of the things that I tell my students is this never ends. You're constantly studying, you have to be aware of your surroundings, all to really help you to find the most unique, authentic version of you. And that's where all of this is built. And that's the kind of thing we're going to talk about right now. So one of the first things that people ask me when they're thinking about getting into voiceover is, well, I do a bunch of impressions. And I can sound like that person. I want to do that voice when I get into this business. I really want to take over that role. And the first thing I tell them is, well, first of all, that role is already taken. Secondly, there are a lot of people who specialize in impressions. If you are dead on at impressions, and that's the thing that you are going to build your whole career on, awesome, then concentrate on that. But the most important thing of all is really to find that unique quality that makes you different. That's how you're going to have staying power in this business. And that is the hardest thing to find. It seems to be counterintuitive, but for me personally, to figure out who I was in this business was the hardest thing of all. I could do big, crazy creatures and military guys. I could do all of that stuff. Little tiny guys, that sort of thing. That was easy for me. But to actually be able to act and come from an authentic place, a vulnerable place, as Steve, was the hardest thing to do. But once I locked into that during the course of recording Cowboy Bebop, it changed everything for me. It changed all of my performances and every other thing that I did.
Because every character, SpongeBob SquarePants, She-Ra, every character that is out there, Bugs Bunny, Goku, every character comes from a place of truth. That's why they resonate. Otherwise, they would just be sort of two-dimensional characters, just like frosting. A can of frosting is great, but after a while, you're going to get sick. That's all you eat. You need to have the cake part inside for it to feel like you've really, satisfied yourself. At least for me, anyway. So everything comes from truth. So you need to find an authentic reason for that actor, for that character to speak. Why are they here? What's going on? And that's what everybody does in everyday life. Is you do this whether you realize it or not. There's a reason you're here today. What do you want? What? So, there are different questions that you have to ask, and that's the truth of every character.
If you've ever studied music at all, here's a great analogy for you. When you find that authentic, neutral place, your natural way of being, when how you are with your friends when you're most comfortable, the people that you can belch in front of, for example, and not feel embarrassed, that place where you just feel good in your own skin. When you find that place, like in music, finding those other characters is really looking for the intervals. Going out, you start in the key of C for you piano players, and you go out into, other key changes, other rhythms. And that's how voiceover works too. If you find that authentic place to start from, if that is your foundation, it makes it a lot easier because that's your home base. You always know you can go back there and then branch out and try all these other different things and explore.
Yeah, and doing impressions is actually a kind of fun thing to have in your arsenal. Like what you do as a voice actor is you build up a toolkit, right? You're not going to build a house without hammers and nails and wood and hopefully, or however you want to build your home. And as a voice actor, to study different techniques or to bring impressions to the table is part of a tool belt that you carry around with you. So for instance, if you decide to, I do a character on Carmen Sandiego called Coach Brunt. And for some reason, I love doing male impersonations. And I looked at her and I was like, well, she kind of looks like a Matthew McConaughey to me. So I started with that layer of frosting and then dipped down and baked the cake underneath to find the truth of the character. But to have all these little voices, all these little techniques, it's a great thing to have in your tool belt to be able to pull from. D. Bradley Baker calls it his alchemy wall. And he says, all right, I'm going to do a little Charlton Heston, I'm going to add a little bit of SpongeBob, I'm going to add all this stuff to create a totally unique character made out of other voices that seem to resonate with people as well.
Yeah, by the way, she does my favorite Schwarzenegger of anybody. We kind of had a deal back in the day. She's directed me on hundreds of shows probably at this point. And I would not leave the booth until she would do, get out of the booth, do it now.
And then you really have to use words for Schwarzenegger. You can just go, sometimes for different characters, you know, I mean, it's just, we need a really silly reaction of a great big, you know, brutish woman, and I'm like, all right, you know, so all these little things help.
So anyway, digressing, how do you find that authentic, neutral place? Because for me, that was very, very difficult. And I found that the way to do that is really to think about how you are when you are either by yourself, which is probably where you really let the stuff out, you know, either in the car, in the shower, just by yourself. I talk to myself all the time. We just put up cameras inside the house, and I watch the movement in the house once in a while, because we were robbed recently. But I see myself walking around talking to myself, and I just look like an idiot doing it.
But you caught me doing that the other day too. When you walked in, you're like, "Hi, honey," and I was so embarrassed. And you said, "You talk to yourself." I said, "Yeah, I do." And he goes, "I do too." And it's so fun. Like sometimes if I get out of a situation, it's like, "Oh, I wish I had said that," you know. And I usually end up saying it out loud, like I'm rehearsing. The next time I get in that situation, I'll have the confidence to be able to speak my piece, which I do all the time.
I do that all the time too. So that person that you are when you are talking to yourself and you're most confident, or your best buddy that you can belch and fart in front of, be that person first. Go back to that place, and then just kind of take mental notes of how you are being with every emotion that you feel. So what do you like when you're excited or angry or sad or happy or geeking out? How does that feel? Who is that person in that moment? And one of the things that I recommend to my students is when you are in that place, when you're by yourself and you are absolutely comfortable and not worried about looking stupid, record yourself. See what that person's like, and you might be surprised how awesome you actually are, because that's where the creativity really comes from that person that you might have judged, that other people might have judged. That's the thing that makes you unique. That's the thing you should celebrate, and that's what you build everything else on. So I always recommend starting there.
Yeah, and you'll find your comfort zone. For me, you know, in anime, there's a lot of, most of the female parts are very young and very high, and I can't do that really for more than just that, what I just did, you know. So I had to find other ways to be a part of this community and look at other roles that did sort of fit in my wheelhouse when I was starting out. And from there, I started branching out and got more confident and started experimenting with my own vocal cords to see how high or how low I could go. But I had to start with myself. It's like, you know, to be loved, you must first know yourself and love and everything else. But you have to find what's your strength and start from there. And then you can spiral outwards and start adding all kinds of silliness, because you're coming from a place of confidence. You're coming from a place of you that you know to be uniquely you. And then you can start playing.
Yep.
And if you're a ripple, like a stone in a pond.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're anything like me, I hated my voice when I started out. I couldn't stand the sound of it, and I didn't know why. I just didn't like it, and I really wanted to try to make friends with my own voice. At some point, I didn't have the tools to do that. So I had to break that down and figure out how I was able to get past that. And I sort of did it naturally over the course of many years. It took me like 2.5 decades to get past that stuff once I started this work. But one of the things that I found that has been very effective with my students is when you're starting out, find one thing that you like about yourself, one physical thing. Many of us have heard a lot of negativity, you know, you can't do this, you're not good at this, whatever. We absorb that stuff and we tell ourselves all that stuff. So put all of that aside for 1 second. Find one thing that you like about your body, for example. All of us have bodies, all of us have at least one thing that we can find on our body. Maybe you have a toenail that's shaped like the Millennium Falcon. You know, sit with that for a second and think about how that feels, that makes you super unique. You won't necessarily tell everybody about that, but, you know, that's kind of awesome. You know, I might hate the rest of my body, but that thing, yeah, I can see Han Solo in there, man. I can see Chewie in there. That's phenomenal.
That's why Infinity's still man.
Exactly. So find one thing, and then you find another thing that you like about yourself, and you find another thing, and you start getting into the practice of thinking positive thoughts about yourself rather than all the negativity, the monkey on your shoulder that you're talking about, that tells you that you can't do it, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not talented enough. All that's garbage and all that's opinion. What's real is that you have an awesome toenail that's shaped like a Millennium Falcon. That's real. Or you might have, you know, a really cool earlobe. One of your earlobes is just beautiful. Nobody has an earlobe that's as beautiful as your earlobe. You know, find one little thing, and then find another thing, and another thing, and build on that, and you'll be surprised at how it changes your paradigm into thinking positively about yourself, which may be the first positive thoughts you've had about yourself in a really long time. Nothing to add to that?
Well, again, this is all confidence. To get out there, to be able to speak, to stand up, to sit up here and be relaxed enough not to wear my shoes and just sit like a slob up here and just but this is me. But after 52 years, I've gotten to a place where I'm not so concerned about how other people feel about me or what they say about me. I'm really sort of confident in my own skin with all its imperfections and everything that, one ear higher than the other and everything else. But I'm confident enough and know enough about myself that I'm confident enough to speak, sometimes not always clearly, but it's important that you find those little bits of confidence inside of yourself, and again, let that ripple outwards so that you will have the confidence to speak your piece. So you're not going home, which I still do all the time, and say, oh, I wish I had said that. I wish I had the confidence to say that, and I didn't, and I missed an opportunity. Because those missed opportunities will get to you after a while. But you will go home and start rehearsing the speech for the next time when you actually do or are in that situation. But it's about confidence,
And the next time you are in a situation like that, all of a sudden you'll have that in your tool belt. You go, oh, I got this nailed. I practiced that in my car.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. And you can bring that in the studio, and when you come in with that little bit of confidence, as a voice actor, you'll almost always have a director, especially on the bigger things that you'll work on. And that's when you can just trust your director and know that the people in that booth on the other side of the glass are actually there to help you. They want you to do well. And if you start thinking about that instead of, they're going to shoot me down because I can't do A, B, or C, they want you to do well. They want you to nail that so they can move on and do the next thing, because they've got a bunch of other actors that are waiting in the wings to come through.
Yeah.
So that's just another little tidbit of advice for those of you who are on your voiceover journey and are really scared going to the studio. I understand that it can be very intimidating, but just know that everybody on the other side of the glass really wants you to do well. And if you see them having conversations on the other side of the glass and you can't hear them, it might be just as simple as...
What are we getting for lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm on the other side of the glass a lot more, on the production side of the glass now. And for me, my job as a director is to make sure that you feel as safe as possible. Because if you start getting fearful, if you start to get wrapped up in self-doubt, you lose your confidence and you lose all creativity. So for me, it's my job really to make sure that you feel as safe as possible to fail, because you should be out there attempting to fail as often as humanly possible, because you learn so much in those moments of, I didn't quite get to where I wanted to be. I'll try again. Because you get moments of analysis on yourself and like, what didn't I do? How didn't I feel? What wasn't connecting for me? Let me try it again a different way. Let me try it again a different way. I learned so much more from my failures than I do from my successes. Because success is like, yeah, that was awesome, let's go have pizza. But if you have a failure or you feel like you didn't achieve what you wanted to, that's the moment of education. That's the time when you're like, okay, what now can I do to become more concise, to be more confident, to not listen to the monkey on my shoulder that's always feeling like, you're just gonna fail. And I'll just say to the monkey, I'm like, bring it on. Yeah, I am, and I'm gonna learn a lot by doing it. And I'm gonna be confident in not succumbing to fear.
Yeah, every successful person will tell you that they fail way more than they succeed. You've probably heard that if you listen to Tony Robbins or any of these people who are empowerment speakers. And it's really true. I love failing, honestly, because so much creativity can come out of that. In my classes, I call it emotional elasticity, which means that you have to be willing. You just have to be open and willing to things shifting. You might study for something the night before you come into a session or an audition, and they'll give you some information about a character, for example, and they'll say, all right, so this character is going to be Irish, and doesn't have to be from any specific region, just a generic Irish accent, so work that out the night before. You might have a few lines in that accent. Then you come into the studio and you're all ready to go, and all of a sudden you walk in and they say, we decided we're going to go Australian. Go. And then you just gotta go, right, got it, where are we going from here? And that's just emotional elasticity. You just gotta be willing to play. It's like improv classes, if any of you have ever been in improv. That's such a great preparatory, is that the right word? Yeah. Preparation for getting into this business because everything changes. You can't expect anything to stay the same. And that's one of the other preconceived notions that people have about voiceover. Well, I can do 20 voices. Okay, cool, but you might run out by your second session. What are you going to do then? You got to be open and willing and emotionally elastic and ready to play too. That's the final thing that I just want to share here is the willingness to play, and also acknowledging that we forget to play as adults. From the time that we're probably in middle school, they start pounding stuff into us to the point where, no, you shouldn't play. You have to buckle down, you have to study, you have to be this or be that, or do this or do that, without the sense of joy, without a sense of play in this. And it's supposed to be fun. Anything that you do in the creative arts should be fun. You had a college professor.
I had a teacher in graduate school who said, you know, Mary, I don't know who told you acting was supposed to be fun, because it's not. And I've spent every day since then proving her wrong. Even if I'm directing an actor to go through something very emotional, by the end of that session, as difficult as that was, and there are tears on both sides of the glass and everything else, to dive into your emotions should feel like a success, and it should feel like that was amazing. I am exhausted emotionally, I am wiped, but that was fantastic. Even screaming for games, or, you know, I mean, it should be fun. It just should. The creative process is a difficult one, but at the end of the day, it should feel like, whoa, that was amazing, let's go again, you know?
And I probably don't have to tell you guys, because you guys are here, you're cosplay, you're having an amazing time. You guys know how to play, right? So bring that into your professional lives too. Don't forget to play, you guys.
Yeah, like D&D. I didn't start playing D&D until I was 48, and it's just the coolest thing ever, and it's a really good lesson. I do want to talk a little bit about improvisation and how important that is for being a voiceover actor. When you get into a booth situation, there'll be many times where they'll just say, all right, do it as written, let's do it as written, and now, if you want to make up something, go for it, you know? And it's just to have the confidence to use your own voice is an amazing thing, and a lot of that comes from improv, which again is just playing.
Yeah. You want to try something?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna play around just for a minute here, and then we're gonna open it up to questions from you guys too.
Yeah.
So Mary directs a show called Tangled. Do you guys know Tangled?
Rapunzel's Tangled in
Yes. And so I play a character on the show called Attila Buckethead. He's one of the pub thugs. If you're familiar from the movie, I think he might have had like one line in the movie, but he actually has a little bit of a character in this thing, and Mary was my director on this. So we have a little bit of copy from a scene with Attila, and I'm just gonna give this to Mary, and just you direct me however you want me. I might come in with expectations. Say this is the first time I came in the studio, I have no idea who this character is. So you want to set that up first, and then just run me through some paces like you would?
Yeah, okay, so you are a pub thug, you're a very big, brutish guy, and you're unbelievably intimidating, so I'd like to hear some gravel in the voice. Maybe a little bit of an accent, you know, sort of a tough kind of a guy. But also keep in mind that you love pastries, and you're a heck of a pastry chef. So go for it, and then I just want to hear your first reactions on
This is what she usually does too. She'll bring me into the studio and she'll say, just do it how you want first. As long as you get all the specs that she just gave me. I was listening very carefully to what she just told me. A little bit of an accent, I'm guessing New York.
Yeah.
A little bit of East Coast? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll throw that in, a little bit of gravel, maybe drop the voice down a little bit. And as long as I hit those specs, I'm just going to do it the way she told me the first time, and then see what happens after the first take. She might say, you know, do it with more talent, suck less, you know, but we'll see what happens. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you want to know my secret, huh? All right, I'll tell you. Years ago, before I met the princess, my friends got tossed in a slammer. I had to get my brothers out of there, but what could I do? I was one man against an army. What could I do?
I'm going to stop you. I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you that the character is actually addressing a huge auditorium of about 10,000 people, and he doesn't really have a microphone.
Oh, okay.
So I'm so sorry, I had to change the context of the scene. This is what's going to happen to you. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And actually, he is Australian. Let's go for Australian.
So you want to know my secret, eh? All right, I'll tell you. Years ago, before I met the princess, my friends tossed me in the slammer. I don't normally open up about this because I've got emotional wounds. I'm very sensitive, despite my appearance. I had to get my brothers out of there. But what could I do? I was one man against an army. What could I do?
Excellent, really good. I want you. You've seen Beauty and the Beast,
Yeah.
right? Who's the guy made of hair?
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Gaston.
This is a tale brag about it, right? So as opposed to being sad and being caught in the moment, not gloat, but brag. This was an amazing, amazing moment. Let's go. I want you to go with an English accent. I'm not sure. Yeah, you want to do like a Cockney sort of thing?
What Cockney you want? More posh? What would you like?
Yeah, let's go posh. Why not? Posh. Yes.
So, you want to know my secret, huh? Alright, they all do. Anyway, I'll tell you. Years ago, before I met the princess, my friends got tossed in the slammer. Now, I normally don't care because I've got better things to do, but he had my car keys. So, I had to get my brothers out of there. But what could I do? I was one man against an army. What could I do?
Good. It was really good. Did you feel like he was bragging enough? I'm not sure there was enough bragging in there. I wanted you to go for Gaston.
Really?
Get up there.
Okay.
Stand up. You know what it is? I feel like you're sitting down and you're compressing yourself and we're not getting the full energy flow. Why don't you stand up and brag? You're at a bar at 1 in the morning. You are not intoxicated, but it's you guys are having a great time. You're like, hey, Attila, tell us that story. Tell us that. Where did you guys hear this story? It's amazing.
So glad I wore pants today so I can stand up. Usually we don't wear pants in the studio. No, that's not true. So, you want to know my secret, huh? All right, pour him another round. I will tell you. Years ago, before I met the princess, my friends got tossed in the slammer. Of course, I didn't because I'm too smart for that to happen. I had to get them out of there, right? It's what friends are supposed to do. But what could I do? Honestly, I laid out a few bribes. I wrote a few notes, but I was only one man against an army. What could I do?
You know what? I feel like it's really good. I just want to hear one from you. Get out there and just tell your absolute best friends. Just be like, guys. Tell me the greatest story you've ever, the greatest experience when you were the most brave, most excited, and just talk to your friends.
Okay.
All right?
So, you want to know my secret, huh?
No, get up there and brag, though. I feel like it's quiet. Everything's like, guys. You want to know? Okay.
My character wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay. Sometimes an actor says my character wouldn't do that, which is kind of interesting for me. It's just like I'm glad you're taking ownership of this, which is wonderful. But a lot of people have been doing some writing, and you know what? We've got a new writer, and we've reimagined the character.
Okay.
So you are now the most confident. Hey, how you doing? Like just go like full Zachary Levi behind this thing. Yeah,
who?
Zachary Levi. Just like
Zachary Levi, okay.
you know, like guys.
Okay.
Let me tell you this story. You're the camel on hump day. Mark. All right.
Okay. Guys, you want to know my secret? You want to know how I got here? How I did this? I know you do, right? Because my life is awesome. Well, I started a long time ago. Years ago, before I met the princess, and then I sort of calmed down. My life was really awesome and really cool, and I didn't have to answer to anybody. Not that it's not awesome, honey, now, but back then I could do anything. I could get away with anything. I could do anything, be anything I wanted to be. My friends got thrown in the slammer. One bad that night. We got away with so much. And of course they did, I didn't, because still awesome, right? Anyway, I had to get my brothers out there. But I was one dude against a whole bunch of dudes and a couple chicks who were really tough. Shh, don't let them know that. It goes to their heads. I had to get them out of there, but what could I do? I was one guy against an army. Thinking quickly, I baked some cookies. I called them cookies because they were delicious. I bribed everybody in the front. They let me go to the back. I took the cookie and I unlocked the door, let my buddies out. Still smiling, still walking. Everything is cool, right? Enjoy the cookies, guys. We'll be right over here. And we jetted out of there and got them out, and we never went back. End of story.
It's good. It's not easy tapping into yourself, is it?
No, I don't like me as much.
Oh, but I do, and sometimes that's what you want to hear. So sometimes you get so wrapped up in creating characters. You've got to remember, go back to yourself. Find your truth. Find that confidence within you. Find your voice, and then build upon it. It'll do nothing but add to your performance. So if you find that I'm sounding cartoony, I'm sounding like I'm not from an authentic place, just do it as if you're talking to someone. Just you're talking to your best friend. That's usually when you're most confident. We talked about that earlier. So
yeah, many times when you do go to those places, especially where they're not as comfortable. Now that last one wasn't as comfortable for me. I didn't know where that was going to go. But the cool thing is that once you do it once, in voiceover, you get to do things more than once. It's cool. Like, we've got Pro Tools. Everything is electronically recorded, so you can do it as many times as you need to. And the director might have heard something in that performance that she really liked, and she went, "Oh, yeah, that thing that you just did right there. The other take was okay, but let's take that and start with that, and we'll build from there." And you might come up with a completely different character in the process of doing that.
yeah, but in terms of having a tool belt, accents are great. There are a lot of resources online for you to learn accents, and that's really fun to be able to pull from. Exactly. An adventurous spirit of just being like, as opposed to, sometimes when someone says, can we try something else? Like, but I did it wrong, and that adds to all that self-doubt. Again, it's playtime. You gotta go with the dice in D&D, right? So it's just play. Somebody says, can we change that? Like, absolutely, what do you want? As opposed to, but I don't know, that little moment of self-doubt's always going to be in there, but to have the confidence to just, and comfort to just play and say, yeah, sure, yeah, okay, yeah, I can do it like Gaston, let's try it, give it a shot, and just see what happens. It may not be right, it may not be what's going to be the final character that they that they end up using, but it'll guide you there. Because a lot of the time the creative process is group. It is a communal process of, this has been on the page for a long time. We're hearing it out loud for the first time. Things change. Go back and listen to Homer Simpson, the very first episodes. He had a very different vocal print than his final voice, which is what you hear now. So
yeah, and I've actually watched Mary do this before, where her training will just kick in. We'll be on a panel somewhere, and we'll be thrown something that we've never been expected to do before, and you just go, I don't know, and you'll just launch into something completely different, and it becomes magic. But that's how that stuff happens. But you just have to be willing to play. Just being mindful of the time, I want to make sure that we have some time for questions for you guys.
yeah.
So yes.
Your voice is sexy, like your normal voice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Did you have a question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why is the voice so sexy?
I don't know. It's my only superpower. I'll tell you something about the voice itself. When I was a kid, I was bullied, and I was super insecure. And the one thing that I had when I was probably 12 or 13, my voice dropped. And so the bullies that had just beaten me up during recess, I would see them in the hallway, and I had a hall pass and they didn't, and I would hide around the corner and say, boy, go back to your class. And, and then I go, yes!
So great.
So you never know what that one thing is, but everybody's got something, so, yeah. Did you have a question?
Yeah, strangest direction you've given or received?
Do it harder but fast. And a little more purple.
I seriously got the direction on an anime that I was doing with them. Harder but softer. That's what it was. Harder but soft.
Yeah, I was directing Sam Jackson in the Afro Samurai game, and the writer came up to me and said, I love that it's that intense, but it's too loud. And I said, okay. I said, Sam, let's go again. Keep all of that intensity, but let's just pull down the volume. Pull down the volume. And he's like, you want it softer, but all that intensity? I was like, yeah. How long have you been married? You got him wrapped around your finger, don't you? And I said, well, I find what's really fun is giving the directions for creature sounds, and we had D. Bradley Baker come in to Pen Zero, part-time hero, and he was playing a Godzilla-sized fire-breathing chicken. So that's always fun. It's always fun to make people do things that sort of pulls them out of their comfort zone and just gets them to play.
Yeah,
for sure.
Charlie Adler once told me we were doing a session, I don't remember what it's for, I think it was one of the panda things, and he said, okay, that was cool, now do it with more talent. just to bust up the room, and it took every bit of tension out of the room to get it, some sort of direction like that. I think you said, yeah, great, suck less.
Yeah, one more time, I love you, you're really good genius, suck less, stick to it.
One more time.
We get lots of really weird directions. Got a question back here?
All the characters you played, which one was your favorite?
Oh, okay, so we get this question a lot. Which is your favorite character that you've ever done? And it's like, it's hard for me to choose because so many of them at some point in my life changed my life. Julia and Cowboy Bebop changed my life because it was a part of a show that my first show directing. The Major from Ghost in the Shell was amazing for me because it gave me a voice. It helped me find, sometimes characters help you find a voice. And playing a very strong female really helped me find my own strength and confidence. So playing her was fantastic. Governor Price in Star Wars Rebels because it's Star Wars and I never thought, that I would ever be a part of that universe. So that was pretty amazing, for sure.
Yeah, it's tough to choose one character because all of them sort of inhabit you after a while. You have to invest yourself fully into every character that you do. So my favorite will probably be whatever I'm working on Monday because it means I'm still employed. And that has to be my favorite character in that moment. I have to sort of let everything else go. But in terms of changing my life, probably Spike Spiegel, just because so many things came from that. So many unexpected things came from that. I found out after recording Legend of Korra, we did the whole season, we finished the whole season, and as we're saying goodbye, Mike and Brian, the creators of the show, said, we didn't want to say anything earlier, but we're big fans of Cowboy Bebop. And I went, what? He goes, yeah, that's kind of the reason you're here. I went, what? And Megas XLR, I was hired from that because of Cowboy Bebop. Tom from Toonami came from that character. And the best thing of all is this lady right here. This is the happy ending that everybody, wants in their whole life, and that came from that show too. So that character impacted my life in a personal way more than anything else.
Thank you.
Yeah, you pick the next one.
Yes. Hi. I know you guys were talking earlier about kind of focusing on the things that you like about yourself to kind of drown out those inconfidence or lack of self-confidence things. But I feel like all of us have been there. That one thing that we feel super pumped about. One person takes at it and it just explodes. Do you guys have any tips and tricks for kind of drowning out that grumbling stuff? Feeling kind of just I've got this, I can do this, and just focusing on the good when your little backup plan sort of doesn't really pan out and focusing on the things you like about yourself.
Yeah. I had it was 6th grade, and I loved to sing.
Middle school is the thing.
Middle school is definitely a very intense time of transition and, and figuring out who you are. And I loved to sing. And we had a great music program in my school, and I remember coming back into the classroom and just being so excited and everything else. And the teacher was just awful. And she goes, would you calm down? You're not singing anymore. And it really made me well, maybe singing is bad and everything else, and it made me start to question my love for something that I was good at and that brought me such joy. And then I realized, well, you're picking on me because you're miserable. And I don't know if I can do anything about that, but I'm not going to allow you to take that away from me, because that's something that brings me joy. And I don't know, it's hard. It's really hard to focus in on something, especially when at times that's the easiest thing for a bully to do, is find something that you like and take it away from you. Because there's not anything that they like, you know? If you're really generous, you just go to the bully and say, how can I help you? What can I, but that doesn't always happen. So hold on to your joy, don't let anybody else rip it away from you. That's their stuff. It's like, what's in your control, what's out of your control.
Yeah.
Make a list of what's in your control, and the rest of it will fall into place. It really will. The head of the department, my theater department, told me that. Was you getting all wrapped up in stuff you have no control over? You have no control over that. What you do have control over is your own, if you love to do something, or if you've got something that somebody picks on you for, if that's something that brings you joy, hold on to it, because that's something you can't control.
Yeah, you really have to decide what's yours and what's not yours. And when somebody's picking at you and saying that you're not good enough, or whatever their opinion is, their negative opinion of that is, it is because of their own personal pain. And you have to just take a look at how they're living their life. And as the older I've gotten, I realized I don't need to have as many people around me. If people are acting like that in my life, they're out. I cut them out of my life. I don't need that kind of stuff. The other thing that I found that is very effective for me personally is that I meditate. Because the only way that you can get back to that clarity of how you know that you love that thing about yourself and that nobody has control over that, is you have to find that clear, quiet space to get back there, because all that other stuff can cloud that. So I use meditation. People use all sorts of different things, but I meditate, and even if I only have 5 minutes a day, I just sit in silence. And one super quick way, if you've never meditated before, is just count backwards from 10, very, very slowly, with your eyes closed, and just take a nice deep breath before you do it. You guys want to try this? Okay, take a nice deep breath through your nose. Hold it. While you're holding it, take one more deep breath. And then let it out very slowly through your mouth. Okay, now, as I count back from 10 to 1, listen for the quiet spaces between the numbers. So between 10 and 9, listen to that quiet space, because all I want you to hear is just the numbers. So listen, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those quiet spaces between the number, you can do this for yourself too. Just count it out loud with your eyes closed. Those quiet spaces between the numbers, that is that place of peace. That's that place of quiet where you can get yourself centered again. So there's nothing mystical, there's nothing weird about it. It's just a way to calm down your brain and calm down those thoughts that really have nothing to do with who you are. It's other people's opinions. So hopefully that'll be helpful.
Turn off the cell phone for a second. Step away from Twitter. Step away from Instagram. Go outside.
Pet an animal.
For me, I do something that brings me joy. Whether it's singing, I love photography. I love star photography. So if I can get out there and just look at the stars, do something that does bring me peace and that confidence to get rid of all the minutia and all the sound and everything that sometimes. What you do have control over sometimes is the quiet. Find a quiet place and just, and then go back out. You're fine. It's all good.
You mentioned D. Bradley Baker before. He's one of our dear friends, one of the greatest voice actors in the world. If you don't know who he is, look him up. But D has a hobby of taking his phone and photographing bugs. He just loves bugs. And he will lay on the ground and he'll just take a picture of a bug. And it'll take him 10 minutes sometimes to focus in on that. But that's all he's thinking about in that minute. He's able to let go of all of the rest of the world in that moment. And it takes away all that nonsense that's going on in your brain. So find that thing that helps you get to that quiet place. Okay, you want to pick something else?
Can you sing something good from the Silent Hill soundtracks?
Sing something from the Silent Hill soundtracks. It's fast or slow?
Do whatever you want.
Blue sky to forever, green grass grows in the wind dancing. It would be a much better sight with you, with me. If you hadn't met me, I'd be fine on my own, baby. Never felt so lonely when you came along. So now what should I do? I'm strung out, addicted to you. My body aches now that you're gone. My supply fell through.
Reason number 4,631 why I love her. For those of you who don't know, if you've ever played the Silent Hill games, she is the lead singer of a lot of that music that you've heard.
All of it.
Yeah,
She's the only
all of it,
female
yeah.
singer for Silent Hill.
Yeah, and she goes on tour and does this with a band. She's a bona fide rock star.
But only in Russia, because you see, we've determined that Silent Hill is Russia. We go there in November, there's no sun. Like the sun would rise at 10 and go down at 2, and it's like, we're in Silent Hill, there's no sun! And Schwarzenegger would come out.
I have two things to say. Your voice is really comforting. I really do like your voice. And can you do a Tom impression?
Yes, only Tsunami on Adult Swim. And we're on the air tomorrow night.
Oh, say something. Can you say something in Tom's voice about like what's it called, the Animal Crossing promo on Toonami?
Oh, I don't remember it exactly, but I can do it.
Because the Animal Crossing commercial on Toonami where
Okay.
he's all explaining things.
Coming up at 3:30, Animal Crossing, only Tsunami.
It was a video game.
Well, okay. Oh, sorry, that's right.
The commercial for Animal Crossing.
Yes.
I remember Tom explaining it.
Oh, you did the video game review for that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was a long time ago. Okay. I don't have a memory like that. I use notes. Give me a line. You're my director right now. Tell me what to say.
I don't know. I've never
I don't know. I don't know is what you're going to feel a lot of during Animal Crossing. Check it out.
Yeah. That's true, because it's kind of like a crazy kind of area.
Yes, it's coming back to me. My kids used to play that.
Yeah, I like it.
Not allowed to do that yet.
I was like,
okay.
I was the richest person in the village. I mean, I had so much money, I didn't know what to do with it. It's like, there's like a lot of bags of 30 or 50,000 bells in my basement, and I would always like switch out between the Halloween furniture and the Christmas furniture.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you for bringing that up. Glad you served it here.
For her, do you remember anything early to
From what was that?
Do you remember any of the bumpers or anything about like early to
From early tsunami? I don't necessarily remember them, but what I do have with me is Fall Down 7 Times. You guys know that? The inspirational speeches. Do you remember the inspirational speeches? That was from pretty early tsunami. All right, I'm going to whip this out for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. All right. This will be pretty fast, if I can find it. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. Thank you. Yeah, see, I don't have to remember anything. That's why I do this business. Okay. There we go. All right. So here's the deal. Life doesn't always want to be your friend. Sometimes it'll feel like life wants to hurt you, but you can't just hide, because nobody likes a quitter. You gotta take chances. They never said it was gonna be fun or easy. Whether it's when you're totally ready or when you least expect it, doesn't matter. Life will punch you right in the face. Now you can lie there for a second and cry a little if you need to, but get back on your feet. Because it's the getting back up that counts. That's what shows you've got heart. That's what helps keep you going. Fall down 7 times, get up 8, and know that we'll be right there with you. Only Tsunami on Adult Swim.
Weren't those the ones right before you got taken off the air?
What was that?
Weren't those the ones right before you got taken off the air?
I think that was right before we got taken off the air, yeah, where we said, stay gold, beautiful friends. That thing, yeah, that made my heart so sad. But we're back.
No, it's
So, even in the depths of despair, we still have hope. We're back and better than ever. 11 to 4 tomorrow night.
Which character do you really relate to the most? I remember writing some pictures, but it says Rena Fumara from Exorcist, that's her name.
So which character do we feel like we connect with the
Rena
most?
Fumara with his top and bad, that's what part.
Well, before Lady Tsunade came on Naruto, we started her in the games. And we hadn't cast her yet, so I played her in the games. And all the Clash of Ninja and everything else. And there was something wonderful about her because she was so flawed. She loved to drink, she loved to gamble, and Naruto annoyed her. And I was just like, that's kind of me. So I loved Lady Tsunade. I thought she was really fun.
Mine is kind of an unlikely answer. I've gotten to play really big, tough characters, Wolverine and lots of Star Wars characters and stuff. But the one that really resonated with me more than any, personally, was a character called JP from Digimon.
He was a young guy, and he was very, very insecure, and a little overweight, and potentially bullied.
That's who I was. That's the kid that I was growing up. And I related to him because he was able to break through that by trusting his friends and that they actually really loved him. And that's one of the things that got me through that period in my life. So I connected very personally with that.
Thank you.
My pleasure, thank you.
Yeah.
How do you deal with unruly actors? Like, what's the most fun you have with that?
Oh, yeah. When you get in the booth sometimes and actors are, okay. It's hard to talk about because sometimes actors, when they do get defensive and everything else, it's like, well, I'm not going to do that. My character wouldn't do that. And you really have to be diplomatic because you can't shut them down and say, it's not your character, it's our characters. We've been working on this for 5 years before you even stepped in the booth. You're lucky enough to give voice to it, and you can't say that because it is a collaborative effort. I think you have to sort of key in as to why an actor is acting that particular way. Again, if it has nothing to do with the session itself, to say, let's take a break. Are you okay? What's going on? Is everything all right? Sometimes actors are, I worked with a very big celebrity, and I'm not going to say who, but he didn't want to scream. And I said, well, you're kind of on a roller coaster here, and you're going full guns down, up, and everything else, and he's just like, I just don't understand why I have to scream. And I realized that he was worried about coming across as silly, as stupid, as childish. And I just said to him, I said, you have to trust me that we are not going to make you sound anything other than wonderful. Like, we need this for the character. I wouldn't ask for it unless it wasn't right for the character. So please, if you don't mind, do this and trust us that we're going to not make you sound silly and not hurt your reputation. It's something you can be proud of. Trust us that we will take your work and treat it with the respect that it deserves. And also, I'm not going to ask for something I don't need.
Well, sometimes she'll fool the actor into getting what she wants.
Oh, I fooled Henry Winkler so bad. So, I was directing Pen Zero Part-Time Hero, and we had a Christmas episode, and there was an evil snowman. And the first time that we revealed the evil snowman, it's just his head. Pen goes up, opens a box, and the direction was, he opens the box, the snowman's head screams, ah! We cut to Pen, he screams, ah! We cut to Bone, Boone, he screams, ah! And it's just one of those, So Henry came in, and it's his first thing that he has to do. I said, so Henry, here we go with this first moment, we can save it to the end. And he goes, you know, I've been thinking, and I was thinking that he shouldn't, I was thinking, why don't we just have him come in, and when they take the box off, he says, hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. What's your name? Hello, how are you? And I said, okay. Yeah, we could, but I think for this comedic moment, we're really looking for the scream, and then it's boarded that way. And he says, yeah, I know, but wouldn't it be better if we just said, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. And I said, absolutely, let's do it, 100%, let's do it. And the creator kicked me at the table, and I was like, oh my God. So, and da-da-da-da-da, he goes, great, that's great, and we did the whole rest of the episode, it was wonderful, and I said, Henry, before you leave, I just need one big scream, okay? Okay, sure. Ah! Thank you so much, and that's what we ended up using.
Just a side note to that, Henry is, do you guys watch Barry?
Yes.
Yeah, the teacher on Barry, he was also Fonzie from Happy Days. He's wonderful, he's an amazing, amazing man. And we see him at conventions all the time, and he really is that guy. Hello, how are you? He will hug you and kiss you. He's the sweetest man in the whole world. Yeah, so, that was a very endearing moment, I'm sure.
Yes.
How are we for time? Oh, we're done, right?
We're done.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up.
That is time. We're gonna take a quick little break, but we will be outside signing at our tables too if you want to come by and say hi and talk and everything.
Oh.
Thank you so much for coming tonight. Time for us to wrap up. We're very grateful that you all came to support our cause. Thank you all for coming.
Hello, I'm Todoroki, or also known as Icy Hot by most of you guys, and I'm here with my wonderful mother, Ray. I'm not sure how you pronounce your own name. Okay, Ray.
Too long since we've seen her.
It's been so long. Shut up. Hi, I'm Ray. I'm Todoroki's mom, and yeah.
Woo! Cocky there.
Shut up, you brat. Suzuki, I'm this guy's mom. I'll eat your ass.
Oh!
That was not sorry, it's a PG-13 panel. Yeah. Sorry. You all should have expected it. Hi, I'm Bakugo. Don't mess with me. I'll blow your faces off, right?
Hi, I'm Deku. That's it. I'm Deku. Hello. Hello, I'm Inka, Midoriya's mom, and I hope everyone's having a great Mother's Day. So to warm y'all up, to get the audience all in here, we're gonna do a Kahoot, right? We're gonna do a movie projector. Do you want to move your chair? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do y'all hate Deku? Hey! That's for question and answer.
I mean, I just like all of class 1A.
How could you? We're so nice. Alright.
Class 1B rules.
What? Pure boy Midoriya. He's a little superior. Here to unpure. Yeah, you should. Go ahead and join the Kahoot. Alright, there's our Kahoot! I'll be watching for names, and now are nasty. I'm gonna kick you out of the Kahoot. Please don't put porn stars' names. Please. Why? Why? Has it happened before? More than you would think. Bye. Do not. We are not allowed to join. We are not allowed to join. Howdy, it's me, Deku Yu, Kirishima. I like the gay thing. Wow. Alright, we have a seat left right here. Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
We want to make snapshots.
You're not going to let anybody in.
All right.
Your capacity.
Thank you so much.
So you're going to have to run a second panel because I still have at least 30 people wanting in.
Alright.
Wow.
Karen, that's the best part of your day. You love that noise. So.
That's too many. Thank you. He's such a good boy. Alright. What's up?
Burnt face.
Oh! Burnt face. Burnt face. Look! There's ice cream. Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Spider Eevee.
There's 13 players. Alright. There's 50 of you. Yeah, there's 50 of you. All of you join. There's 44. Come on.
prize if you win?
Oh yeah, we have prizes.
We have prizes.
I didn't kick some ass. Nice. I'm gonna kick some ass. Bakugo, listen to your mother.
Still wanted to go to a couple.
I bought this for him on a string because she told me not to.
What's his name? Is it All Might?
His name is Pablo.
Yeah, I would name mine All Might. Purple Pablo. I have him on my socks. That's some great appreciation. They say plus ultra. Material. They say plus ultra on the bottom.
Meow meow. That's a weed.
Meow meow.
Meow meow is a weed in like
There's an apple. Just an apple.
We love it.
Apple.
Apple. We're gonna say apple.
Any more?
If anyone else, does anybody else want to try and win?
Hold on, she's trying.
Okay, we got a couple.
Oh, look at him.
No, I know my phone's super laggy.
Oh, like at dinner. You deserve a throne.
Happy birthday.
You deserve a throne.
Did you hear this abuse?
On Mother's Day, they're gonna sit on the floor.
Mama Eco's queen. Also ASMR.
Did you put it in?
It's been 3 days of the podcast first.
Mama Eco and yourself.
Sweetheart.
I need more water.
Water up here, honey. Yeah.
Oh,
It's Mother's Day.
Here.
please be careful. Do not break it.
Oh,
Hold on. Oh no.
jeez.
We lost connection. Oh, that's so wonderful.
I don't know.
Look at my beautiful trash babies. That's it. Like actual tears. Just can't. Hi, babies. Okay, so there's
Technical difficulties. Just casually break everything, why don't you?
That's all my fault. I actually broke it.
Go to the guest. Who's yeast? Disconnect.
The two Marriott ones don't play.
Oh, shit. I told you.
Magic! Woo! Toga!
Y'all didn't see that.
You're making your mother sit on the floor on Mother's Day?
No! Have a whoa!
Oh, okay.
What kind of buffoonery? Where'd the chair go? Sir, I'm gonna have to sit down. Sir!
They're making me sit on the floor on Mother's Day.
No, make him sit on the floor then. Yeah, let me time out. Dory, sit on the floor.
Dory, I support you all the way, but how'd you guys not allowed to?
Sit on the floor right
Sit
now.
on the floor like a good boy. So you don't break anything.
Oh, you broke your
All right.
God,
Is that it? Is that
Are we done?
everyone?
Are we good?
Gucci?
All right.
Okay.
Gang, start.
Let's go!
Are you ready? Let's get ready.
Oh, I have.
Let's make these work, y'all.
We got audio.
We don't have audio, sorry. I know you're the best part.
We don't have the amazing soundtrack.
Speaker and I can play it on my phone.
I was gonna put it on some.
No, sorry. No,
We're sorry.
I've never watched it.
Trying our best.
Your hotspot sucks. That's why
we have no internet. That's why. Who turned it off?
Just breaking it even more.
Guys, it's a new car.
Just kidding, we're on the road.
Storm alarm.
Sorry. Was it Marriott Lobby you said? Lobby?
Okay.
The Marriott ones don't work.
No?
We're connected to something.
Jam out to
Sorry.
tail.
Sorry, we're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, so sorry, you guys.
That'll catch fire.
Yeah, it's like.
There you go.
I feel like he's more of a danger of catching it on
He's
fire.
not sweating yet. I wonder if when he cries, just like his little tears explode too.
It's warm in here.
No, that would be sad. Like,
Depressing. He just cannot cry.
It's like
impossible.
cry signal here. Turns into sound. Sorry.
Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. Not talk about me. Okay, let's do a Q&A while we're waiting.
Yeah, we'll do a Q&A. So while we figure that out for now, until we figure this out, we're gonna do some.
All right.
So hold on. Okay, are we back? Maybe. It's connected. Yeah. Give us like a small Q&A while we wait for this stuff and everything. So yeah, y'all gotta re-enter. Maybe. If there was something hold on.
Might want to remove the fluffy
I
tail.
have to reconnect everyone. So.
All right, sorry. We might have to reconnect you.
Yeah, we're doing on Saturday. We're trying the best that we can. I'm very sorry.
To 15.
Oh my God!
You have been blinded.
Same code. Sorry, I'm more temporarily. I'm sorry, dear. I don't believe you.
Why are you hugging the nerd?
I'm so sorry, I did not know.
I stand.
We're blocking over here. All right.
Your naughty nicknames beware. Yes. That space.
There's also a Juno.
Toga.
The internet. Our internet.
There you go.
We're on the Marriott internet. Let's see if we can see our signal.
Yeah, there's Haramatsu.
I'm doing the post. Yes.
That's the distraction from the technical difficulty.
I
got Richter. It's mine now. So, are there still connectors? I'm selling a thing that's audio touch. $5,000. Alright. I got it. Alright. Game started.
Is everyone ready? Is that it?
Are we all good?
Wait.
Going last chances. Going twice.
Going twice.
Going twice and a half. Okay, you're done.
All right, let's start.
Yeah, you all got God.
What's this one squirt?
Me squares.
Wow. We love that.
No.
Quality content.
Move, I can't see. Full screening it. There we go. All right. I think that suits her.
Wow.
She's such a good You're in the way. You're in the way, Deku. Thank you.
Yeah, you're.
Get on the floor. Get on the floor. Sit on the floor. Whoa. What is it? Did anyone get that notice?
Oh, good ball.
Like me. That should be it.
Oh my God.
I braced you better.
I gravitate to them titties. Oh my God. Y'all are smart. Cookie. I love you. My friend up next. Deku, you're the first.
All right, Deku, my
Boiling hot one. Second.
Excuse me? Are you making fun of my trauma?
Next question.
Basketball.
Just do all.
Y'all better be careful with your answer. This one's scary. This one's
wait. I know this one.
Joy, here, Joy.
No one's on that. I'm not hitting on your mom. We are at capacity. We can't let anyone in. Sorry, we're having a panel later. Later. Showing. Next hour. Next hour. You got it wrong. She was hysterical.
Yeah, she's happy for me. Of course I'm happy for my son. Which one's mine?
Oh no. No, nothing's wrong. The Kahoot sucks. Yeah. We're having issues today. It's voting.
You guys get the spirit. You guys get the correct answer in spirit.
Don't worry. You guys get the correct answer in spirit. Yeah. It's a hot boo-boo mess.
All right.
I would be annoyed.
What's this?
How did you react?
Just randomly pick some like maybe you'll be lucky.
See, everything always works in my book. Nothing for wrong.
I'm sad I asked you to film this one.
I think it's the problem with the connection.
Are you zooming in on me?
Bye, then we all know.
I'm really sorry.
We're trying to get our best.
You're doing good.
Did you say about not sweaty yet?
It's a lot.
It works. Not you. It was a nasty boy. Hello?
Hello,
Me? I'm not the nasty boy. I am not nasty. I am not the nasty boy. No. Stop attacking me.
You are nasty.
I'm not. Why are you the whole family? No. Am not nasty.
Broccoli boy.
What do you have to do?
The Wi-Fi is terrible.
It's not on your hotspot anymore.
Okay,
It's a blank screen. The yarn is really soft.
Well, that decided to happen.
Nice ass yarn. I love how the lefts look. Because this is like this yarn. Hi.
So iron skin today.
no, you're. Are we gonna? All of the villains.
I want to ask.
Jason's my name is the best hero. I am the best hero.
No, you are not. Does anyone remember who was last in first, second, and third?
Jiro, I believe it was.
She was second. So Jiro was first.
I was third. She got second.
So all those boys second. Come on up to the front.
And then third.
The ones who were last in first, second, and
Who was in first? You were in first? No. Why are you trying to do me like that?
I'll blow your face off.
Please do it. Actually, hold on.
I'd love to see it.
That's gonna burn your face. You're both gonna melt.
Like, show me your cookies.
Ouch.
All right.
Who was first?
Who's in first?
Jiro.
Who was Jiro? Jiro's right there.
actual Jiro.
It's gonna work. I'm sorry. I'm gonna open the door a little bit. It's a little hot in here. I'm not trying to
I know it's like a fire movie, but I
was honestly not going to do that. I had like the hair concealer camera and I realized that that's just what I was going to look like.
Oh, no. You can turn off. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's that.
I was just kind of in shock, and then I just looked, closed the box, and went back underneath and tried to get
Yeah. You guys better be able to catch. Okay, you got it.
catch these.
Yeah. No need to be rude, but Patsy, how are you so smart but so dumb at the same time?
I'm extremely smart. I'm obviously special.
So, we got Dad up there.
Yes. Charles.
It's dropping so quick.
Oh, yes, the tea.
Sister canceled. Exactly. He is canceled. Yeah, we're trying to watch it.
Next question. I think
I'm gonna stand.
I can tell you first.
Frank, how do you really feel about Todoroki?
Aww. Love you, Mom.
Why don't you do that shit?
What? You have to throw it at them? No. Excuse me?
I will admit
Hold on. You were next. Right. This is for like all the moms. What was it like raising each of your kids?
It was the best thing ever.
Oh, God.
I didn't mean to give you an active question like that.
Okay, who's next?
I used to do that, and then I realized how easy it is to make my clothes. And it was just so much easier to not have to wash your hands.
Someone pick someone.
There's 3 modems. It's like, I just keep throwing them on because it's necessary.
Can I have you in the back?
Yeah. Because like they're clever and I know.
Yeah, I got a question for the boys.
For the boys?
Special. What was your mom's reaction when they met each other?
Oh. Well, okay, so I'll go first since my mom is really sweet. She kind of, I think, just thought that Mitsuki was loud. Like, pretty much just loud and happy to meet a new friend.
My mom thought Inko was kind of annoying with how happy she was, but she got used to it pretty quickly, I guess. I don't know.
Not being annoying, it's called being generous.
As in my suburban household, I'm not really sure how my mom reacted to both these two. They probably thought Mitsuki was probably really loud in her opinion, but he got my abuse as dad, and we both hate him. Fuck Genji. And then Nico, I'm pretty sure my mom thought she was nice and everything, because she is one of the sweetest moms in the world.
Ray, there's an ad.
Look at the monitor.
Ad on screen.
Oh Jesus.
Can you, yeah.
Alright, I saw this one.
More of a question for the boys again, but when all of you guys actually did decide to hang out and your moms all freaked out for any reason, what was the main reason that all the moms freaked out for seeing all 3 of you actually hanging out for once and being nice?
I killed them all.
Like, hold on.
We killed them all.
I got Bakugo to go trick-or-treating with us.
No, I did not. You did? Don't remember, did not happen.
He dressed up as a jack-o'-lantern. Probably because I was hanging out with Bakugo, honestly. And that's it.
The mom's hiring skills are not here. I can attract politics, I can't throw them, obviously.
That's why you have a burn mark on your face.
Are you trying to fight, Bakugo? Are you trying to fight?
Very intrigued over here.
Sorry.
Next question.
Alright. Saw this.
Say that.
First, I'm not sure if y'all are together.
I'm not sure what the person in the white shirt in the back row.
Which characters? What do you think is parenting styles?
Like, for who? For everyone or for who?
For anyone?
You mean give every mom, like, you say your opinion of every mom's parenting. Well, my mom is the best because she's super supportive and sweet, and she's always here for me. And sometimes we just, yeah. And I really love my mom. And then I feel like Mitsuki's doing the best that she can with the child that she was given. And I'm not gonna comment on. Look at how this one turned out. Look at how that one turned out. Keep your eye out.
Ouch.
I think Medora's mom is doing her best at what she's doing, and she's one of the best moms I've met so far. Besides my own, because I love my mom so much.
Your mom poured boiling water on you. Leave him alone.
Shut up! Your mom smacks you.
Slap you too.
I'll slap you back.
Eric,
you wanna go?
Get
him, Mom. And then my mom is interesting. She's better than my dad because she actually feels like sorry for what she did. And see, my father, he keeps trying to like force me to do stuff I don't want to. So still, fuck Angie. Next question. Misty. I've been waiting for the name.
Okay, so right? So how did the whole thing with Angie even work though? Like, so did you ever both have like mutual feelings for each other, or was it like, okay, you're my wife now, I just wifed you? Was it consensual?
It was.
Wait, yeah, it's
questionably consensual.
But
yes, duck.
Is it like so? But was it?
You guys both say yes.
Yeah, but we to each other.
At some point in time, but it wasn't a whole relationship.
Okay, next question. Like, in the blue?
Yeah, Karamatsu.
In the blue.
Alright, I have a question for the mom.
Yes, dear.
Do you have any embarrassing moments with your son?
Oh my god! You do not know!
Someone's embarrassing. Pulling out one's childhood.
I have so many! I love my son's like, I'm ready!
Y'all know how? Little Isaac Midoriya has a handful of All Might onesies.
He has more.
About your kid!
He has more than him. No. If you do, I clean your room.
No, you do not.
Yes, I do. You shit. This one wasn't there. Don't even ask her.
Okay, so as we know, hi, I love my son. I can go on and on about him. One of my favorite.
Sit over here.
One of my favorite moments.
So perfect.
Hi. One of my favorite moments was when.
Yes.
He would cry. What about? That's a normal thing for him. This one would make him cry so much. And when he got home, he would ask for broccoli.
Cannibalism.
He was so cute. He would ask for it. He couldn't say broccoli correctly. It was always just so small. And like, how do you say it? Bookie.
All right.
Okay, Bakugo, what's your worst nightmare?
Not answer for me. It's not this one because I'm obviously more powerful
That's
than
his
him.
dream, let's be real.
But if he did somehow overpower me, I don't know, that'd be pretty scary. Also, my mom's pretty
Easily
scary.
overpower you. He can break your body with one finger.
Not easily.
All right.
I saw the deck in the back for a long time.
So
Todoroki, how did you feel when you fired the and you realized that you had a similar quirk to Dad?
I felt like before he started doing like making me work and everything, I felt pretty cool about it that I had 2 quirks that I can use. But of course, when he started doing like forcing me to do work and everything, I started this like, how do I put this?
Do not touch Pablo. You will eat them.
I didn't like it. But of course, like during the sports festival when Midoriya showed me like it's my quirk, not his, I gained more confidence in myself. And I started using my fire powers more often and not thinking about my dad. Next question.
How many were given? The one in the black. How do you feel about Midoriya's obsession?
I thought it was beautiful for like his obsession with superpowers and all night since he was a little boy, like hopped down my belly, was there.
Little
Shut up!
He's a little
watching this, not even walking yet, watching this all my video. I thought it was so cute.
All right.
Look, did you guys see my sweater?
Oh. What's up? Yeah.
I want to get to that. So did it by all mom? Which mom was in the bag?
What do you mean?
In a battle.
We got 10. I'm gonna say Mitsuki.
I think my mother.
Your mom can lift small objects.
She's amazing.
I gave my child perfect skin. No, what she would do is she'd convince all of them to stop fighting, and then they'd all have cookies because she's that pure and beautiful. Let's be real here.
Secondary option. Ray would bring her kettle.
Yeah. Todoroki's about to cry. I love you, Todoroki.
Ray.
No.
Hiroshima.
Over there.
10. How does all the moms feel about the UFJ attack?
Did you know about it?
Who asked that? Yes. Kind of. But not really.
I probably wrote you a letter. We have 9 minutes.
So, an important thing, we can only take 9 more questions for this session. So after that, we're going to switch to truth or dare. Yeah, I love this. Okay.
This is a question for all panelists. All for one or one for all?
One for all.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Ooh.
He's obviously the traitor that the creator forgot about.
Did I say it wrong? No, you said it.
All right.
I should add.
One for all, obviously.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Oh, I didn't.
Say it right.
Who's to say?
All for everyone.
All for everyone.
Oh no.
Did you just hear what she said?
Obviously, one for all because all my has been such a good mentor to me since I started going to UA.
Peppery. Which one?
I saw that.
I saw just super.
No, I know. I'm being told different things. Okay, Peppery. Okay, go. I don't know names. I do. So I know 2 things. Leave Todoroki alone.
No.
No, that's not a question. Can I have? I know. I'm
Okay, so like, what if you had to switch moms for a day?
Wait, are you saying which one would you want?
I already went through.
Yeah, like what would happen? How would you feel?
Which mom would I get?
Both. You.
Of course my phone would.
Next person over.
Well,
Next mom over.
next mom. So
I get to keep it off.
would it be on the same day as the other ones? Because
Everyone switches moms on the same day.
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure we would
Seems to like
just,
him more than she likes me.
I'm pretty sure we would just like hang out and maybe get haircuts. So I might end up crying. You know, I think you're pretty nice. So I think I'm just
She's in the psych ward. I just gotta make sure that she's like not like having a kettle or like water with her. Maybe if she had water by herself. I just don't want the kettle around her. All right.
That was a mistake.
I'd be okay with ice.
Put that on my CV.
Don't hit me.
Don't hit me. Don't hit me. I guess I'm not a mom.
Oh, okay. I thought I hadn't seen this. I love you. I want some of your broccoli and some of your dinner, please. Thank you.
Todoroki's coming over for dinner, is what we're saying.
You in the black?
How you guys think about
Is that for all panelists? I fucking hate my dad with every fiber of my being.
13. No,
My dad's a little too much of a weenie.
Oh, honey.
Nobody knows about Deck, who's dad. He's currently dead. Apparently.
We get apparently.
He's not dead.
I don't think I can answer my opinion on my dad. I think it's kind of unheroic to leave your family.
I'm sorry.
The Coco, the one, that one.
Wait, no, it's not done.
It's not done?
It goes for everybody. Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry, y'all.
I love my husband. We don't know where he is or if he's ever coming back. Won't answer me. Took a lot of time crying about it. But then I make cookies afterwards. So
Where can I start? He puts up with me, that's what matters.
This is the last question, so before we do truth or dare, this is the last
He's been waiting for
truth or dare.
too long. Too long. He's been waiting.
Oh, him?
He's been waiting for
All right, you.
Moms, who's the weakest kid?
Moms. Emotionally.
This one apparently doesn't have a quirk.
Moms. Emotionally or physically?
Who got kidnapped?
Mic drop. Answer from that. Oh my god.
I don't remember.
Mic drop.
I didn't get kidnapped. I don't remember. I remember seeing that on the news.
What?
I remember seeing that on the news.
You know,
I'm hip. I watched the news.
I want him.
As every grandma says.
Who's the biggest kid?
Emotionally?
Yeah. Not physically.
Yes.
I love you.
But you don't have your thoughts.
Egg in the microwave.
She doesn't know what that means.
Egg in the microwave.
That's not a word.
Bakugo, I'm sorry.
Right. I'm always right. So we're gonna move on to truth or dare. What's gonna happen is person is gonna ask one of the panelists a truth or a dare. They have the right to deny it or to do it. So, any hands?
Yeah.
Dare.
Dare you to hug technology. Be careful. Okay, don't break anything. Hold on. Everyone wait.
But does Todoroki consent? That's
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Y'all better pull out your cameras. If you're gonna
Give him a hug, Bakugo.
Go, give him a hug.
Give him a hug.
just do it.
Just do it. Also, you're proud mother right now.
I got it.
Blackmail. All right, he's gonna use that in a later date for blackmail. All right. Gotcha, this guy.
Okay. I dare Bakugo and Deku to the Pocky Challenge.
Whoa! I have Pocky. I give you guys Pocky.
Flying Pocky.
I gotta get a video. All right.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't.
Everyone better pull out their cameras if they're gonna get something. Was everyone ready?
Yes.
Cameras up, everyone ready.
Just do it.
Go on. Yes. Yes.
Hey, Why do you do this? Hold hands for the rest of truth or dare. I have a dare. Would you consent to the dare?
What was the dare?
Okay, well, I consent to the dare. Okay, well, can you guys hold hands for the rest of the panel? Hey, leave me alone.
All right.
I think get over here. It's stuck on my child backpack.
No homo.
Yes, I'm wearing socks.
Yeah, this kid's happy.
Stop being at us.
Hold up.
I'm wearing socks.
Yeah.
Truth or dare?
Yes. Who? To who?
The children.
Okay. Do we all consent to a truth or a dare? Yeah.
All right, a dare. What's up?
I dare everyone to say something opposite about their moms. Like Bakugo, you say something nice about your mom and
Savage.
So if this is something opposite
be
about
nice.
my mother, then what I usually say is that my mother does not. My mother love taps me. She doesn't hit me. She love taps me. And I love my mom.
He has feelings.
There's feelings.
Some others. Wait, that was the opposite. Oh, you're so cute.
I'm kind of like in the middle with my mom, so Mom, I love you, but I low-key kind of hate you for you giving me this scar.
Oh, shit. Don't give me another. I'm older now. I can actually fight you.
Mom, before I say this, it's important that you know that I love you. Sometimes, maybe you are too supportive and I need to hear that I can't do something. But I love you. That's all I have to say.
Wait, I have one more thing to say. My mom, that's the opposite.
You have more nice things to say?
She's not a hag.
Okay. Dang. Who we got next?
Can I have Sally in the back?
Yeah.
Ooh, we're gonna have to. Ooh.
Well, yeah. Ooh, our real sisters. You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Todoroki, Deku, you do the pop challenge.
I'm gonna deny that. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna deny that too.
But we are holding hands still.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. Who next? Okay, back there.
Yes.
Okay. This is either a truth or dare thing, so you guys can either do the truth or the dare.
Okay.
The truth
Yeah, let's do
is-
truth.
Yeah.
For who?
We'll do
For the
truth.
truth,
Yeah, for who?
which one would you date? And the dare, I say hug that person for the whole day.
The whole day.
I gotta go home.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
The one that you hate the most.
So I'm gonna do the truth.
Yeah, let's do the
We're all
truth.
gonna. Okay, we're gonna.
That's a lot.
Are we gonna? Is it everyone? Like the moms too?
Yeah. You start? Who would you want to date? Or you can hug the person. Why don't you just do the truth? Yeah.
We're collectively agreeing the truth.
Who would you date out of Ray and Mitsuki?
Ray seems chill.
Okay.
Kugo, because he's really strong. I don't like anyone.
Forever alone.
Come back to me. I have to think about
Say
this.
it, coward.
Say it.
I have to think about
Inko.
calm down. Oh my god. No. Well, I'm hurt.
Why are you hurt? Because nobody. It's my mom doing shoes.
I don't really know Ray that much. I'm gonna pick Inko.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So here's the big reveal. All right. A date Todoroki and Deku. The same time.
Okay. All right.
My son.
Okay.
Woo!
You will not play my son.
Anyone else? Oh, you in the white back there?
I dare. What's yours? I dare Bakugo. There you go. Hold Midoriya's hair.
Okay.
Friendship is
Rico.
Let's switch.
Yeah, let me switch.
You seem awfully excited.
Oh, just lean on
In
him.
the back.
My hand is really
I
warm.
dare you to hold Todoroki's head.
Oh my god!
Do you need a check on that? No.
Are you sure? There's one right here.
This one first.
No, I'm good.
Just get the one. We hit the
Oh.
Oh.
Apparently this is a thing now.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm still here.
All right.
I dare you to say 3 nice things to Deku.
Yes.
To Deku. Somebody some video. Got you.
Hold on, I gotta get Alright, hold on to cameras.
Hold on, we gotta get the cameras out.
Wait, they never said I had all that with you.
No, that's the before dare. Come on.
Oh.
Do it.
No, just me and Fran.
Just do it, you guys.
I guess your freckles are pretty cute.
That's one. Somebody can... Okay, that's one. You need 2 more, Bakugo.
Going.
Hey, do it.
I have to think about it.
Hey, then think about it.
I guess you're pretty strong.
That's 2.
Okay.
And you're not as weak as I say you are.
And then that's 3.
Not 2 more. Being strong and not being weak are the same thing.
I mean, heck, you didn't hear that F-bomb.
Alright, I think that's a love tap for him.
Okay, so
Later.
I got 2 on my belt.
Yep, you got 2. You just need 1 more,
Yeah, Buck. Why are you so close?
Well, it's the 3rd thing.
Come on.
Yeah, time, sweetie.
I have a nice butt.
There we go. And then we have 3, everyone. Okay.
Monica, everybody come in and go through the other side.
I'm scared.
I'm just checking out you guys.
Hello.
Everyone to go around and say their favorite hero, villain, or becoming a hero.
Oh, okay. 52. Okay, 52. Okay. Should we start with Bakugo?
Yeah, we'll start with
Okay.
What was the question?
Your favorite hero, your favorite villain, and then what was the last one?
Becoming like hero training.
Yeah.
Like what you feel about? Oh, your favorite activity
UA,
to hero.
UA.
Yeah, like your favorite thing to do, your favorite hero, and like.
Okay, my favorite thing to do at school, I guess, is work out. I'm not done.
He needs to say his favorite
Okay,
hero.
my favorite villain would be Toga, and my favorite hero would be White.
My favorite hero is All Might.
Yes, we know.
Clearly we know that.
My favorite thing to do at school to train is when we do stuff that doesn't require quirks, like running or that kind of stuff, because I don't like to break my fingers. But my favorite villain is none of them because they're villains and we don't accept villains in this household because they're villains.
I like to play with
My favorite hero either has to be Eraserhead or All Might. My favorite thing to do at school would be going to lunch so I can eat some noodles, because those are that's pretty good. Yeah, some soba noodles. And my favorite villain would have to be Shigaraki. Yeah,
It's kind of disintegration.
Aren't you guys supposed to still be holding hands?
Kinda.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, I was like, aren't you guys supposed to be still holding hands?
We don't want it on his.
Good for you. What is?
Well, they're not gold.
I like making cookies.
Yes, Mama. Yes.
Your favorite hero?
Hero villain.
She didn't say yes.
Oh.
I think my favorite hero would have to be my husband.
He's not home.
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back.
He went out the store and didn't come back. And I don't have a favorite villain because we don't
don't accept villains in this house.
Yes!
You're so aggressive! I'm excited!
My favorite
I can't read.
would be writing Todoroki letters because, yeah. My favorite villain would be Kirigiri for certain reasons, and my favorite hero would also be Hawks for certain reasons.
Wow. Are we all?
So my favorite hero would be easy way for him if he keeps my kid in check. Again, villains aren't accepted since they took my child. My favorite thing?
All right.
Good question, because I don't like doing things.
So that was the last question for the panel.
Yeah.
So thank you all for coming.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Have a good day. Thank you. Hey guys.
You guys are more friendly and outgoing, you know, but when it comes to panel like this, everybody's like really kind of scared or something, gets shy. Somebody said like you guys feeling like back to school or something. Any question?
How long have you guys been playing your instruments?
何年やってますか? 15 years. 7? I'm doing it since baby. I can't count, but pretty much the same, I guess. 15 years. But the bass is I'm still a baby as a bassist. Yeah. Any questions? Hello.
You have Naruto. Do you have any other range?
Fairy tale, his favorite.
Yes.
Naruto, yes. Another gato.
Jojo.
Seven deadly.
Oh, that's yes.
Full Metal.
Alchemist.
Yeah, but my favorite is definitely Naruto.
Okay.
Any question? You guys are definitely shy. Like a lot of people, you know, try to say something, but then they couldn't at the panel, and then they come to our booth and then ask me so many questions. Why didn't you do that? Any question? Lyric? There's a boy whose name is Lyric, just like the song words, Lyric. That's a cute name. Lyric, are you hiding? Oh, you know everything, right? Oh. Any question? Oh. Lyric?
When did your band start?
When?
Yeah.
2009. Yeah? So this is like close to 10th year, but I'm, since, you know, our first album came out on 2010. So I kind of, you know, think about 2020 as our 10th anniversary. So we, you know, planning to do something special for next year. Yeah, I hope so. You guys have to request us to the con. Because yeah, some cons, you know, don't want to repeat too many times, but they're different, you know. They love us, and then we go to the other one that they run. Like every single year since 2011. So. Any question?
You ever had any songs that you thought was complete, but then you went back to it, you thought of something new that you wanted to do with it, so you changed it?
Oh, you mean like it hasn't been released?
No, like when you're writing a song, you thought you completed it, but then like maybe a couple months later, you went back and you thought of something new that you could do with it.
Oh, I'm actually really picky about finishing the song. So if I wasn't happy about it, I'll just toss it kind of thing. You know, even if it's like 90% done, I wouldn't finish it.
Yeah.
So I need to be feeling like from the first line, I need to feel, yeah, it's gonna be complete. And then, so once I'm done pretty much. Yeah.
What inspires you to write music?
Oh, he asked when you were here.
Yeah.
It's the, mainly the life itself.
Okay.
Everyday life. How I feel or how, you guys feel or,
Okay.
people's feeling. Any question? Oh, lyric?
How many songs are in your new album?
In the new album is 10.
Do you have any songs that didn't make it onto the new album?
Oh yes, bunch of them. Yeah, I might go back, but to complete, but normally no. Yeah. But there are a lot of them. Yeah. こっちから聞きますかね。
How do you decide on how many songs are going to be on an album? Is it always, like you've always had around 10? Is that...
Yes, that's kind of my maximum number. Like I want to keep it 10. Like I don't want people to get bored in between songs. I mean, like in the album, sometimes they have like 14, 15 songs, but some of them, kind of people skip. How do you call it? Yeah, some songs are, not that good, and then people try to skip, I don't want that to happen, so I'm trying to keep 10 maximum. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any just playing instrumental songs?
Oh, instrumental, no vocal. We haven't done that, but that might be cool.
I would like to do that.
Some guitar solos from
Yeah, he has guitar solo on pretty much every single song. Yeah, but yeah, that way I can learn more bass, I guess. Yeah, if I'm not singing. Yeah. Any other question? Yeah.
Besides music, what are your guys' hobbies?
Fishing, bowling, sleeping.
Fishing, bowling, and sleeping. Sleeping, you are a jumper. Sleeping. Drinking. I'm thinking, yeah, pretty much drinking and sleeping, I guess. Just as him, I don't fish, but I love bowling. Yeah, and painting, coloring.
Abstract or like scenery or?
Abstract is how do you say?
It's like made up. Not real.
I like a realistic. Yeah, but yeah.
Like people, landscapes.
Yeah. Any question?
Have you ever thought about putting some of your artwork on your albums?
Oh, like draw.
Or abstract or whatever.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I feel like I'm not that good. I mean, like I want that part I want to leave that part to somebody professional. And usually my older sister, she's a designer. She done all the album work. So I give her like my idea, you know, how I want to place things, and then she will work on the graphic and stuff.
Are you going to make another music video? Are you going to make another music video?
Oh yes, we are thinking, yes, with the same guy who did the Daybreak. Yeah. I want to do the whole, you know, music video for the, you know, whole album. Yeah, like a show, like a story kind of thing. Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
Only one. My sister. Yeah.
Is she musically inclined at all?
She told me, you know, she tried to learn piano in the past, and then of course she is older than me, so she started before me, you know, singing or piano, you know, since we were like kids, and then she started, you know, way before me, but I got better quicker, and then she quit. So she, you know, went for the designing, art painting. Yeah, all of my family do the art, not the music. But yeah.
A little late, but I made it.
Oh yeah. Any question? Any question?
How long have you guys known each other?
Oh,
She's 2008, so
yeah, 2008, so long time. 11 year, 12 year, 11 year. Yeah. And he's the new drummer. Maybe you why are you guys laughing?
Whatever.
He's a new drummer, yeah. We've known him since, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago? 2 years. We've been talking.
2 years.
Like, online, you know. We found him on Twitter. Because we were working on drummer renewal, not renewal, how do you say? Replacement, renewal. Yeah. We've had a lot of, drama used to, and we've been through a lot, but yeah.
Is he staying?
we'll see.
It's my decision pretty much, but but I think he'll.
Just learned his name.
There?
How many songs do you have in total?
Oh, in total, right now the one released is 30. But yeah, we do have, some more other ones that we never released actually, We only do it at the show or, yeah. But right now, the ones we already released is 30.
What's a country you've always wanted to play in but haven't been able to yet?
Like we want to go to Indonesia, like Asian countries, and then Germany, and yeah, some Europe, France, and we do have some followers in Italy, so we want to go to Italy too. But
If you go to France, I speak French.
oh,
Be your translator.
any question? Yeah.
Are all your songs in English or are your songs in Japanese?
Some of them are mixed, and the newest album has only English because most of the mainstream radio station or TV station, they prefer English. They're like, no other language. People wouldn't get it. you know, konsei, or, you know, people who are interested in Japanese culture, yes, they might know some Japanese, but most of the, you know, people in US won't know. Yes, yeah, some mix, yeah. Especially the first one. I think from the second one I only do English. Yeah. Because the first one was released in Japan also. But then, you know, we kind of switched, I mean, like, how do you call it? Transform, but yeah, transition. Like, you know, since the first year we had more performance offer in US, so, you know, we got the visa and came over and started touring. So since then, I kind of changed it to, you know, all English. So more people can, you know, understand.
How did you guys meet, form your band?
We've known each other for a long time, you know, and we've worked with, you know, some other bands in Japan, and then, but, you know, we had a similar influence in music, and so we started the band. And at the time, we had a bassist. King is the feeling. He's really close friend of us. But Zen, he toured like 2 years, 3 years in the beginning. But yeah, he's still a good friend of us. We still talk to each other. But he had some trouble, you know, traveling long time. Like, you know, how do you call it? You can't be in one place too long. How do you call it?
Always moving around.
Well, I think like he gets very tired being in a small room, or, you know, airplane, or how do you call it? It's like a condition. Economy something. Syndrome or whatever. Yeah, he had some condition, and then, so he kind of gave up traveling, and that's why I, you know, started the bass on my own. Yeah. And we found him on Twitter.
You found him in a bar drinking.
If you were able to do a soundtrack for any one of your favorite movies, which one would you pick?
He said Aladdin from Disney? Aladdin? What? I don't know if our music fits. I was thinking like maybe Transformer or something. Yeah, like fighting movie, something. He doesn't watch movie.
I would be really interested in that Aladdin though.
Oh, yeah.
That would be interesting.
Some type of anime, maybe he says, but fighting anime. Lyric?
What did you all decide your song for your dance?
When did you decide to
When? 2008. We were in Los Angeles, visiting Los Angeles as a tourist. And then we were like, why don't we form a band? And then Zen was with us. Like, we all kind of, you know, not grew up together, but like being close friends. And then we were like, why don't we create a band, you know?
Were any of you in a band before?
Oh yeah, we were, yeah, with Jen and.
Okay, what was that called?
I can't say it because you know they have their own thing. Well, they're still there doing it, but you know we kind of have not contract, but like promise, kind of. You know, we don't talk about each other. Like it doesn't mean like we fight or anything, but mostly, you know, me, Hideki, and Zen, we left, and then the original band was pretty much done at that time because only one person left at that time, and then we all, you know, kind of separated, and then so all they have is the new people right now, and they're still doing it, but you know, yeah, they're not happy people. So yeah, I had we had a hard time keeping up. So that's why we, you know, decided to do on our own thing.
This was not my decision to ask, but she told me to ask you this. Do you want to go bowling? So she told me that. Do you
asked me, go bowling together again.
Oh, with Lyric? Yeah. Yeah, we went bowling together one time. Right? We had fun. Yeah, let's go. All of us.
After con bowling.
After con bowling, yeah.
I hope round one. We get the Japanese arcade game. They have that all here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the arcade, bowling, and arcade games.
Oh, wow.
So a friend of mine, I'm not gonna name them, they want to know your secret.
I do. I do.
I do.
You
do?
I am.
He is. I mean, yeah. He is. Yeah. Right now, right? No problem. At the moment.
Forever.
Forever. Any question? Any questions? Any questions?
Do you have a favorite song to perform?
From our music? Yes. He's suggesting all of us say the title at the same time, if it match. The せーのね。3, 2, 1. Stay. Stay. They both said stay. Yeah. I kind of agree. I'm in between Wonderland or stay. Yeah. I should have said stay. But yeah. Stay.
How often do you change the lineup for the songs at any convention or performance that you do?
Oh, how?
Is it always the same songs that you're going to do, or is it?
No.
How often do you change the songs?
Normally, every single show we do change, but just only sometimes, you know, when the cons or shows are kind of apart. I mean, the city are far, then we'll use the same set. Just like here, and we are going to Ohio after this, but here in Ohio might be the same set. So some fans do the live stream, but like we're like, please do not post it yet, because the next show gonna be the same set, and we don't want people to kind of But we normally change every single show, yeah, at least some songs or orders, yeah. Any?
Have you ever wanted to do a full album in Japanese?
That's, yeah, well, a lot of people actually request, you know, that they want to hear all in Japanese. I could do that, but you mean like whatever we already released, or
like a new album,
like
or if you
completely
hear
new?
other
I actually have my own, you know, thing in Japan.
Yeah.
I do have all Japanese album, but with this band, you know, we want to go. How do you call it? It's more like worldwide, you know. So if we do all in Japanese, maybe some people don't care, you know. So I you know, I kind of hesitate to do that right now.
What's your favorite convention?
Oh, Saboten. Sabaku too, but Saboten comes, you know, have to come first because we've been there since 2011, every single year. This year gonna be our 9th year, you know, and then, yeah, 2020 would be our 10th, which is our band's 10th anniversary, so, yeah. Phoenix means something for me, I don't know why, but, like, Phoenix is my spiritual animal. You say that?
Yeah.
Spiritual animal, how do you? Spirit animal? Yeah. Phoenix have something.
Do you have a favorite place to visit in the U.S.?
Memphis.
Memphis, Tennessee. She has the shirt. I can't say it out loud right now. You need to turn. Visit to Visit. Doko. He has maybe only been 10 city, maybe more, a little more. He flew in last year, May. So it's been a year. And I think he's been, well, more than 10 cities, more, a lot more. But, どこが一番好き? Oh, he liked Arizona, Phoenix. Oh, yeah, tree?
Cactus?
Palm tree. Palm tree? No, cactus.
Is it like the one that's like
Saboten?
cactus?
Saboten, cactus. I like New York too, but too busy. Yeah, just as a tourist, it's kind of cool, but as a musician, it was too much. Like hard to park and loading.
New York, there's too much traffic.
Yeah, too much. Any other question?
How long are you guys planning on doing this? Like staying with it?
Forever.
It's not what you said is Sabo last year.
Oh, you mean this event?
No, Sabo last year.
What, eternity?
Oh, we are not going to be back anymore.
Oh, I didn't say that. What? Did I?
They made events during setup. He walked off.
I was joking, right?
I would hope.
Was your question about music or the concert or? I hope. I want to die on the stage. That's my dream. Yeah, people might be like shocked. I might give people like a bad memory. But yeah, I don't want to die in a hospital or alone in a bed. So I'm hoping everybody's there. On the stage is the best. Oh, did you?
If you guys were to be a sports team, what would you want your mascot to be?
スポーツのチームをやるとしたらここでマスコット何ですか？
Oh, koi fish. Koi fish. I wanted to say Phoenix, but yeah, our logo, the shirt, and the album has a koi fish. Yeah, his T-shirt, it has a koi fish over there. Yeah, my sister drew that. Yes.
How long has your band been running? She already answered that.
Oh yeah, it's been I think 9 years, pretty much.
How long are you going to keep on touring?
Oh.
Go home?
Until we go home. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, are you going to keep on touring the U.S. and back to Japan?
Oh yes, we actually have schedule until 2020 at this moment, and then more is coming up. A lot of schedule. I mean, a lot of cons or events sign us ahead of time. So I do have shows at this moment. I know until like 2020 September, pretty much double. But our visa is like 3 years. Every 3 years we have to renew. So our visa at the moment is expiring in the beginning of 2020, but we already have a schedule, so we are going to renew. So like at the end of this year or the beginning of 2020, we'll go home. And we were back like this February, but we'll go home and renew the visa and then have to keep coming back, So half a year. Yeah. The visa process, very long time. Yeah, sometimes it only takes like 2 months. But I need to gather a lot of documents, like proof that we are performing, and then that's not hard, but just waiting process is kind of long sometimes.
I don't know my question. You can just move on.
You forgot?
If you had a dog, what would your name be?
Ooh, my own dog. 犬飼うならなんて名前にするか。I might have to see the dog and come up with the idea. That's 難しいね。
Maybe a court would be like Kiba.
I might call him Phoenix. Yeah, I don't know. Phoenix has something like some kind of connection. Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah. 何つける名前？サボ。サボ。あ、サボ。サボ or サバク。
サボちゃん。
サボサボ。Any question?
Has any of your songs ever been played on any local radio station, maybe around Memphis?
Yes. Local radio or
Radio Memphis.
yeah, Radio Memphis. Do you know like Kiss FM? worldwide, but we've done Kiss FM. Do you know a radio called Rock Rage Radio? That's for like rock and roll and like metal. And, yeah, Rock Rage Radio.
So you can actually like call those stations and request their songs. And
No, they found us from somewhere and then they message me, or sometimes I, send them the music, and then it's like all about, if the DJ or whoever, MC, if they like it, then they'll just repeat. So some radio stations do that for us, like Rock Rage and Radio Memphis and some Kiss FM station. Yeah, they have our CD, and then like every week they'll pick one song and then. Any question? Yeah.
If you could lead a band, who would it be?
Joe Perry? Joe Aerosmith?誰いるバンドああいうの誰なのかMike Portnoy? That's the drummer of それみんな一人の言ってるね、バンドじゃなくてバンドっていう話だったんだよマイク・ポートノイ、Dream Theater でしょthey have a hard time picking up one band. Aerosmith? あれじゃないの？あれチェンジじゃないの？あれチェンジじゃないの？誰がいる？ Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses, Journey, Kiss, Rush. Oh, Rush. Yeah. There's too many. Can't pick one. Hello. Right now we are doing the Q&A. If you have any question. Then, yeah.
How did you guys all meet?
Oh, okay. We knew each other, since we were kids. I mean, we've been friends, and then we were in other bands, and then we started the band. He's our new guy, and we found him on Twitter. And we've been talking for like a year, and then, so since then, it's been like 2 years, but yeah. Yeah. Did you have a question?
What is your most difficult song?
Oh, to perform? Frozen. Frozen. でしょ一番難しいやつ Frozen でしょ Frozen Frozen Far and Wide, the third song that we did last night. I have hard time still with that one. But yeah. Any question? Any? Yeah?
How long do the songs usually take you to make? How long does it take you to make a song?
A long time. Some song come out 5 minutes. Sometimes. But I'm more of a person who needs time, sit down and work on it. Like I can't just come up with a few ideas and then record it right away. No. But he gives me a lot of idea, like riffs, guitar riffs and some chords. So when we start from the riffs and chords, that's kind of quicker because I kind of chop them in pieces and then like put them like a puzzle and then make it a song sometimes. But other than the shorter song, how do you call it?
The shorter song.
Like, just 2-minute song, or the songs I write with the piano and just me singing. Those are kind of faster, quicker. But I know what you need time to work on it. Yeah. It can take like a few weeks or a few months sometimes. Yeah.
Do you find it hard to sometimes find the right English words to express everything?
Yes. But every melody has certain, how do you call it?
Aspects.
Yeah, and when I'm thinking in English, it has to be English. Like, I can't just write in Japanese and translate it into English. It wouldn't fit in the melody, so I don't do that. So I'll just begin writing in English right away. Like, I never use Japanese and then translate, or the other way, like English and then translate. I can't do that. Because I feel like it's not comfortable. Like, once you fit the words to the notes, I don't feel comfortable changing the language. Because, that's what I feel. But, every single melody has certain, accent or, ways to fit words, and then once it fits, that's it. So I do have hard time because I don't have enough vocabulary like you guys do. So I do read a lot of, dictionary to get more words sometimes, or, read books in English and then get more words.
If you were to be reincarnated, into an animal, what would you choose? What would you want to be?
何になりたい？犬？違うね。猫？動物になるなら何？ドッグ。貝？ Shell. Seashell? Really? Oh, he wanna live quietly. He said, just hide in a shell. That's sad. Somebody might eat it. Then you're done. I want to choose dog, but maybe Phoenix. Yeah.
What else is your guys' interest, like your hobbies besides playing music? Like, what else do you guys like to do?
Like, if we didn't do music, or
that, or like in general, what else do you guys like?
Oh yeah.
What do you guys do outside?
Yeah. We were talking about it earlier. Maybe fishing, bowling, sleeping. Some study, right? Like history. He loves history. Then drinking. Drinking, sleeping. Being lazy. Spending money, he said. Something good. Saving money. I love bowling. Yeah, bowling.
Who's your favorite Disney character?
Disney. Tiger
from Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, that's
That is. Dory. Finding Dory. Oh, Winnie the Pooh. I love. That's not Disney.
Sanrio.
Sanrio. That's Sanrio. Disney. If it's Disney, 名前が出てこない。Cinderella. Cinderella.
What's your strangest fan interaction?
What does it mean? Fan.
What is like a weird or awkward fan-to-fan interaction?
Oh, right now. He said right now at this moment.
Well played.
Weirdest, like scary, weird, or
What stands out?
Unpleasant.
yes. For me, I guess, some guys come up and then, can I, like, like get close to me and then, like, come on, like, do hugs are fine, and then, but like, just be next to me. Like you just stay there, not saying anything. I'm like, why are you there? Like if he's talking or whatever, that's fine. Some girls are like that too, like come close and. One time I had somebody coming in to my booth, like long time ago, but to my booth, and then in the morning, I was like getting ready with my booth, and then I turned back and he was like sitting right here, like behind me, sitting on the floor, and said, hi. How did you get here? That was scary, but
why did you guys mainly decide on going with rock music?
Oh. なんか聞いてたもの。For them, like mostly なんでロックにしたのかってやっぱ聞いてたものですよね。まあうちらに誘われたからですけどねみたいなもんですけどね。Like their influence, in music was rock, pretty much. And I'm kind of similar, but as I grew up, I mean, because of my parents, I was raised in classic, trained in classic since I was like 3. But for some reason, my musical experience was from rock music, mostly. So I wanted to become a rock singer anyway. But yeah.
Do you guys play any other instruments?
Yes. Piano. I do piano too. Any other? Guitar. He wanted to become a guitarist. Sorry. No. He wanted to become a guitarist before he told me. Yeah, but now he likes drums better. Yeah. Drum. He plays drums, bass, singing. No. No singing. And
Have them start singing.
no, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I do play piano and just a little bit of guitar, just a little bit of drums, but really little bit. And Japanese taiko drums too. Just a little bit. Pom pom. Hey, lyric.
We have to leave.
Oh, you gotta go? Oh, go home? Oh, okay. Hug. Yeah. Okay. I heard 5 more minutes. If you want a picture, please come by at the booth. We'll be there, and then we'll be at the closing ceremony too. If you want, picture or autograph, please come say hi. And then 5 minutes, a few more questions.
What's your guys' favorite alcoholic beverages?
That's a very good question to ask.
Tequila? Tequila. Beer. Wine.
Kind of beer.
Wine.
Red or white?
Red. I do both, but yeah.
Red's the way. Do you guys play games? And if you do, what's your favorite game that you guys play?
You mean video game?
Yeah,
Final Fantasy. And なんだっけ Soul Calibur. なんだっけ
Soul Calibur?
Yeah.
Soul Calibur's great.
Mario Galaxy.
Oh yes.
Mario Kart. The board game we have Catan. Settlers of Catan. That's our favorite. Catan. Yeah. Any? Yeah.
Whatever.
Back in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Sabaku mentioned, what's your favorite animes?
Naruto.違う。Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail. Naruto. Jojo. なんだっけ Seven whatever. I never watched it, but Seven Deadly Sins. I never watched it yet. My Hero Academia. Attack on Titan. They know a lot. My favorite is definitely Naruto. Yeah, Naruto. Oh, ReZero. Do you know ReZero? That's kind of crazy one, but yeah, it gives me kind of depression sometimes. Like, be sad, kind of scary.
If you guys had chosen a different career path, what would you have wanted to be?
Okay.
もしミュージシャンじゃなかったら何やるか来た。Politician. Hideki.
That's
He loves learning about politics.
You gotta talk to him.
Yeah, he's got to talk more. He wanna be a shellfish, he said. Seashell. Comedian? No. Oh, he wanted to become a football player. A soccer?
Soccer player.
Yeah, he was doing it like since kids, when he was little, for like 10 years. He was playing soccer. I want to be a bowler. Bowling. If it's not in music, then I might do acting also, but because I was kind of wondering if I should go for acting or music or.
I know that feels.
Do you have any preference?
I do, but I can't say it normally because my parents don't know. Some people might say like, "Oh, your tattoo is cool," and then they might be like, "What?" So I can't talk about it or show it, but I do. It's secret. You didn't record it, right?
If you could perform with any band, past or present, what band would you want to perform with?
Oh, perform with?
Past or now? Wait.
Oh, from now?
Or from now? Whichever band. Any other band.
Any time period.
誰だろう Guns N' Roses? Or なんだろうね Alice in Chains? Michael Jackson. Love him. Is it time almost? Yeah. Yeah? 何分? Two more.
What's your mother's favorite story to tell about you?
Oh, what is that?
What is your mom's favorite story to tell about you?
Me?
Well,
like
when you were like.
Does it have to be funny story or?
Any story, the best story.
Just the one she tells the most.
Oh yeah, she about me. I'm gonna ask them, but if it was about me, my mom was telling me and whoever she knows about how I was good at singing. Like since I was like 2 or 3, even I didn't speak, I could sing. She said so. She believes I had a perfect pitch or something, and then she was telling me, I didn't speak any, Japanese at the time, but I could, answer to anybody when they sing to me. Like, and it was in the right pitch, she says. I don't remember, but なんか子供の頃のお母さんがいつもよく話す。私ある。His mom, I know her. Like of course we've been friends for a long time. So she told me about him when he was a kid. She says he's the most how do you call warm heart, kind kid. And then, he loved to go shopping with her, but she was kind of getting irritated because, he was always after him. I mean, he was always after her.
Very attached.
Yeah, and then she told him, just go play with your friends, besides coming after me. And then she kind of pushed him, and then he said, I want to, spend time with you. He was little, but he was kind of like grown-up person. What he said was always like, I want to spend time with you, like as long as I can, because you never know, how long you can see her. So, yeah, after she said something like, just go play with your friend, like she was very, how do you call it? She regret saying that. Yeah, and whenever like she was mad at him, he would say like, Mom, don't be mad, just be friends, Don't be mad, Yeah, so he was a good kid, I heard. But, なんかある？子供の頃なんかお母さんがよく言う。Oh, I think he had bad friends sometimes as growing up. So she was always saying like to people like he would hang out with bad kids, and then she had to tell him to not to be stupid or just one more. Last question.
What's your favorite flower?
Flower. Dandelion. I don't know.
Dandelion.
Dandelion?
Dandelion.
Rose. I love rose too.
It's a classic love symbol.
Yeah. Red rose.
Red roses
are love.
Or in the Middle East, black.
Oh.
Or
Very white rose to pat yourself on.
But oh yeah, it's time. So if you want a picture or anything, please come say hi.
My voice went out. That's how good.
That's enough. No, I think one more spot. Oops, I'm so sorry.
We have two shows in high altitude, Flagstaff show and this show. Every time we come here, it's just like, after load out the first day, we're just like, why is this place kicking my butt so much? Oh yeah, this is high desert. All right, so I always forget this. Well, I don't forget this, but I always forget to say it at the beginning. When we're all done, and we do the closing, and we do the numbers, and we close the show out, if you are a collector of badges, or if you want to take anything home, we have all the badges up here for you to take, except for staff badges. There's enough here. Nice, calm, orderly. You don't have to race up here. And anybody in here can get one if you want one. So please don't race up here and push people. We actually had that happen in one shift. All right. So we start this all with kind of our mantra of why we run conventions, and I want to challenge everybody here. If you didn't do this weekend, at your next show you go to, make a friend. Find someone who maybe you've never talked to before, or someone you haven't talked to in a while. Do something with that person. And between that show and the next show, do something outside of the community. And at the next show, do the exact same thing. Help this community grow on a year-to-year basis. I can tell you, and I heard this from my staff last night when we ran a masquerade, who here was actually here Sabaku year one? Wow, that's actually a pretty good number. Do you remember the masquerade the first year?
Yes.
And how scared a lot of people were going on stage. And look, if you were here last night, 7 years in, the masquerade here has grown so much, and this community on the cosplay side has grown
and even
so
just from
much
last year too.
in a short period of time. And it's just amazing to see the influence that you guys all have by having the events that are coming in here and making all this area grow and start to get tighter knit. So it's really a commend to all you guys that help make this community get bigger and bigger on a yearly basis. So what I'd first like to do is say, if you were event support or staff for the convention, please stand. This show and my company would not be successful if it wasn't for all these people you saw standing here in front of you. And I want, if there's anything that you can take out of this conversation that we're going to have is, if you want to help out either at this show, another show here in Albuquerque, or even help out with one of our shows in another city, please reach out to us. It's a labor of love. I've been running shows now for 13 years. Wow, 13 years. And I can tell you that it's kind of amazing that 89%, I figured out the calculation the other day, of my senior staff started with me in 2008, whenever we started Sabaku in 2008. And that is amazing. I don't know what Kool-Aid I gave them.
It was awesome.
I'd love to figure it out so I could get that mixture and start a new batch. But really, this show would not be successful if it wasn't honestly for all the event support and all the staff they every year put in their blood, sweat, and tears to put on this show. So please, again, a big round of applause for everybody. Guys came here and saw some amazing guests this weekend. I don't know if you got to go to a lot of guest panels, but you were graced with a lot of the original people who made anime happen here in the United States. I kind of got a couple giddy moments over the weekend when I was doing Senpai Chit Chat, because they're having their conversations and it's great listening to them, and then I'm sitting there thinking, wow, I'm sitting on a stage with 3 of the greats in this industry, and how much they shaped just my life as I moved through my career. And I hope you guys got to see a lot of that too, with Les and Mary and Steve, that literally kind of formatted the 90s of anime and how it progressed through. I'm an old person. Yes.
No.
And I can tell you that the 80s shaped me. The Robotech and a lot of those that came out during that time really made me love anime. My wife and I, interesting story, my wife and I used to ride the bus together to school and back. We were best friends from 7th grade on, and I would be able to get home just in time to watch Robotech air, well not live, but air on Fox 53, and I'd always pick on her the next day because she couldn't see it until the weekend when they did the re-air on the weekend. So, and it's one of those things that we kind of connected with and literally created a lot of our friendship as we went through. So, and it was interesting to hear a lot of the stories over the weekend of the next age group, the next decade of anime fans that came out that were shaped by these greats and listening to them talk and how it affected them and how they became who they were. So it was great. I've had Les out twice now at the shows. Mary I've had out numerous times. This is the second time I think we had Steve out. So I really hope you guys did get a chance to go to some of the panels and listen to them. It was really... Damn, Les is probably going to come up here and say it, so I'm going to beat him to it. I want to go to his panels every convention that I've had him at the last two, and I haven't got a chance to go to it. So I'm going to make it a point that the next time that he's at one of the shows that I'm going to as a booth, that I will go see it, because his stories and just listening to just the side conversations that come out of those panels is just amazing. But I digress. So what I would like to do now is call up some of the guests and we'll have them speak a little bit and we'll kind of go from there. So since Mr. Claypool, who does not play bass, is right here, we'll have him talk first. Mr. Les.
Back in the 1600s when we first started doing anime. When I do cons, I never know what to expect. Sometimes the con chairs and the staff are dicey. Sometimes, you know, the flight is horrible. There's always something about it. If Greg and his staff have anything to do with it, the answer is always yes. That's all there is to it. You know, hats off to him and the entire staff and anything they do. And the one thing that never, ever, ever changes, no matter how great or bad a con is for me, is the attendees. What time of day is it? Kick ass. Always, always, always kick ass. I love it. For decades, we did what we did, and we had no idea that we were having even the remotest effect on any of it. That's just not, you show up and work 60, 70, 80 hours a week, you don't know. And in those early days, you know, the Ghost in the Shell and Wings of Oniamas and that kind of stuff, those days, there was no social media. There was no feedback. It wasn't like, oh, let's go on YouTube and see what anybody thinks. No, you didn't know. It was, feedback was, you get to do another volume because you sold enough videotapes. And then that was the end of it. Feedback was, we still have a job, somebody bought a videotape. So, I'm not kidding. that's literally true. So, coming here and having conversations with all of you, there's not a con I get through without this happening. Because people come up to me and say, you guys made such a difference in our lives. Or this show got me through this period of my life. And this show, you know, I was depressed, I was living alone, I was suffering from medical problems, and Triga made me want to continue. Where's this coming from? I had no idea. I was just showing up and trying to do the best job I could. So I love you guys. And sitting there talking to you guys in the booth and the panels and all that, I love you guys. I'm so happy with you. So that's it. That's all I got.
Work my way around this way. So, Kazuma, would you like to come up?
Thank you. We've been here since year one, from what we remember. And I've been to, yeah, well, how's that? Really? I've been to his other con, Saboten.
Yep.
I think this year gonna be 9th, but actually at the first night Friday show, I was supposed to say what's up Sabaku, but I said what's up Saboten, and then I didn't realize, and then we started the song, and I was like, did I just say Saboten? And then we were gonna, keep on going for like second song, third song, as the set list says, we had to go on, but I had to stop the band and ask the audience, did I just say Sabaku or Saboten? And then everybody was like, Saboten. I was like, I'm too used to being at Saboten and then, saying, Saboten to the audience. So, but I'm so happy to be back, and this is something very special for me. And, I do a lot of cons, but, your con is the one that we always want to go back, and, we want to keep doing that forever if we can do it. But I can't say anything special because I'm still learning English. I'm getting better, I hope, but I can't say anything special. So I always bring some presents. I usually give him a t-shirt, but this time we sold a lot of, his size shirts. So next time, you told me your size and then we were out of, and so next time at Sabo, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bring your size. But this is for somebody here. This is our last keychain. We sold all of them, and this is the last one. I'm gonna, I taped it just in case to be safe, but I'm gonna softly throw it, so.
Anime Battle Royale, go!
Just to show you guys our appreciation, my bandmates are there. They're always shy, so they don't come out. So we usually do this. Can I do it? Since I said Saboten in the beginning, to make it up, I want to do this with you guys. When I say Sabaku, you say Kon. Okay? Every single one of you.
Okay.
Yes. Sabaku?
Kon! 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 Kon!
Thank you so much.
She is our She is our house band. She's been with us for so many years, and it's amazing to see the growth in the band and new record coming out, or has it come out now? It just came out. So
Just came out. Got the sign. I'm good.
Please find her at the next show, or go online and find our website and get their music. I am graced and lucky to still have someone of your caliber coming to our show. Honestly. Vitamin H, the panel hungry panelists. The war horses of running panels. They keep on saying, no, we'll run as many panels as you want. I'm like, I can't make you run the 15 panels you want to run.
Showed up.
We're going to say that to solve the problem that Kaja has. We just referred to. We didn't do anything. So I think we've been here 6 years, and we keep coming back, just like Kaja said, because Greg, and never mind. I'm just going to not talk anymore.
All right, bye. See you later.
This is why I'm the one who writes everything.
Hey,
let me
yo.
tell you, we spend 9 months of the year stuck in Dallas, Texas, getting to drive out here to Albuquerque, see the amazing scenery, and then come to the con, see all the cosplay, the passion, the energy, the knowledge. This is just such a freaking amazing community. We wish we could spend more time with you guys every year, and we just wanted to say, we hope you had fun with us. Thank you.
If any of you are in the Tucson area, we will be at Konichi, or at least one of us.
Woo!
We will be.
Woo!
And I've actually got a chance to walk past their panels a couple of times for some of the ones that they're running. I love the energy that I've seen in all their panels I do. So if you miss any of their panels over this weekend, please make sure the next time you come out to make sure you get one of their panels. So I'm going to scan here on the right. Is there any more guests on their inside here? Nope, 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 nope.
Oh?
I'll bring you both up. How would we do that? It's the Akatsuki, right? We are the Akatsuki, sorry. And why cheesecake cosplay? Why I was thinking of a different kind of like food, sorry.
Well, I'm probably loud enough without this because I'm a very loud individual, but I'll use it anyway. Thank you so much for having both of us here. I had a really, really great weekend. I was terrified I was going to be like entirely exhausted by the end of this weekend, but the con staff has been so great about making sure I had water and food all the time that I actually feel really good. So for everyone who came to my panels, thank you so much for coming to listen to me ramble about costumes because that's what I do. And for everybody today who came to play my game at my table, that was also really fun. I saw so many amazing costumes this weekend. Like I think I came. One of my first conventions was like year one Sabaku Con, and it's just like it's really cool to see how everything has grown. So
Sabaku was also my first convention, so it's just such an honor and a privilege to be a guest here. It was kind of like a goal for me for a really long time, so to be here on the stage like makes me want to like shiver and cry, and it's just really awesome. So thank you so much, and thank you guys so much for coming to my panels, and stopping by the booth, and just saying hi. It was really, really amazing experience, and I'm so grateful to be here right now.
Last on this side is Mr. Junkers, way in the back.
Hey, stop. It's been a long time since I was anywhere near like that.
I'm pretty loud too. Yeah, I was actually sitting back there trying to think about what to say, but I'm going to make this as brief as I can, but it's quite a lengthy thing. I talked to Greg about it. I started doing cosplay just like everyone else. I went to my first convention. But I'm going to date myself, but I read about it in a newspaper. And I read about what cosplay is in a newspaper. There was barely internet back when I started. And I tried cosplay out. I was like, oh yeah, I'll do, my first cosplay is Wolfwood, so I love Trigun. My very first one, I showed up in a suit. It was a janky suit, janky cross, but I'll tell you what, I had the time of my life. And up until that point, I was a junior in high school, and I was very shy. I was very out of place. I didn't have a lot of friends. I genuinely didn't know who I was. I was a very miserable kind of human being. I just didn't have a very good social life or a good community fabric to fall back on. And once I started finding the convention scene, cosplay bringing me out, if you go back to the person who I was back then, there's no way you could get me on this stage. There's no way, and I wouldn't be as comfortable as I am on stage right now, and that's more of a confidence thing. And so once I started getting more recognized in the community, I don't know why, I just tried my best. I was just very dedicated to my fandoms, and I started getting recognized more and more in the community, and I thought to myself, you know, I can give back, so that's what inspired me to put up all of my, all my vlog stuff, all my armor stuff. I'm always sharing how to do fitness stuff, armor stuff, anything that I can teach in cosplay, because my genuine desire is for someone like me out there that doesn't know how to cosplay and could potentially come into it and get that confidence, get that community fabric built in, that's huge. If I said that to myself, that if I could do that for one person, all of it is worth it. And that was the vision that I had. And going probably the last couple years, I got swept up in the corporate rat race of it all. I got all, you know, those big corporate opportunities. I saw those big paychecks, and it was great. But I started to lose that vision. And I'm just talking off the cuff, but I was really depressed about it. I had lost who I set out to be, and I'll be perfectly honest, coming out of the Sabaku, it really reset me back into that vision, that sort of purpose. And I went into this just thinking, you know, it's another job, it's another just get the project done, and you know, make deadlines, make ends meet, do your invoicing, whatever. It's very business. But seeing everyone here, seeing Greg's vision with Monkey Paw, it reset me back to building community fabric, bringing people in, getting all that stuff. So seriously, thank you so much for allowing me to do that. I didn't think that would happen. I thought this was going to be another con, another paycheck, go home, do it all over again, whatever. But, you know, thank you very much. You know, I'm a fan just like you guys. I don't do this full time. I have a day job too. So really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. And yeah. And he echoes exactly what we really try to do with our conventions, even with our business for Monkey Paw. If you've had a chance to interact with staff this weekend, I really hope you felt what our over-encompassing mission really is as a convention. It is family. A lot of people can say that, but I honestly do feel I would not be here right now standing in front of you guys if it wasn't for the family that helps me run all these events and goes to other cities and still comes down through conventions. A little funny thing, all my crazy staff, when we announced Sabaku, and I made the announcement on social media that we were going to be starting a new convention in Albuquerque, all of my staff from Phoenix like, great, let's go, let's have fun. I'm like, all you crazies from Phoenix just want to pick up and just roll right up to Albuquerque. You're like, yes! But it's a labor of love, and it really is. And I say that because I want you to realize that don't be afraid to help out with events. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I just want to see what it's like. We don't bite, we're not scary, we're weird. So as long as you can handle weird, that you'll be okay. We are weird. But other than that, it really is a labor of love, and we have fun with what we do, and we enjoy what we do. And we're just looking on a yearly basis for people to come out, help us make this show better, help us make this show bigger, help us make it better for the community. Little things that if you don't like this year, or if you really like something this year, let us know that, so that way we can either work on things for next year, or we can kind of tweak things a little bit to make things a little bit better. So really, truly from my heart to all of my staff and my event support, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And for all of you attendees who came and weathered the rain yesterday, the hail, and everything else. Never had a convention up here without some funky weather happening. I don't think so, not yet. We've always had like rain or something weird. I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It's a pleasure to help. So before I announce numbers, we have a couple more shows coming up this year. We have Konnichiwa, which is down in Tucson. Yes. It is probably going to be our breakout show for this year. We've been in the convention center for the past couple years. If anybody knows me, they know I don't like convention centers. But unfortunately, Konnichiwa grew to a point that we had to move from the Holiday Inn several years ago, and the only logical place for us to go to at that point was the convention center. This year we announced new dates, June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, and then we also announced it at the Star Pass Resort in Tucson. So we are back to a nice hotel with a nice big convention space in the hotel. And the excitement's so big with it, our hotel room block at that point when I ran the last report 50 days out was double sales where we've been any previous year. Which is crazy.
Wow.
I mean crazy. And our attendance at that time for pre-sales was 300% over where our normal sales were. And you guys clap, and all my senior management's going, oh my God, this convention can't get this good. And I'm kind of the same way. I do honestly think Konnichiwa probably is going to be the one that could potentially be our double convention growth in the way things are going. And it's the excitement. There's several different genres of conventions, but anime conventions just thrive in a hotel environment with a hotel convention space. And it isn't a knock on a convention center, because a convention center is great for what it serves, but our entire mentality is we want this close-knit feel. And you just can't get that when you have a convention center you're disjointed from the hotel. So moving back to the hotel this year, we've seen so many people, it's like, we're going back to Konnichiwa this year. And plus, they're calling it Resort Con because we have the nice lazy river. If I catch any of my staff on the lazy river instead of doing their work.
I want to.
Which we have a story for that. If you ever want to hear a good story from me sometime, just ask. I'll give you the skeleton story of my security and Ruben Langdon on the lazy river instead of going to his panel. So please, if you haven't given Konnichiwa a chance, or if you didn't go because you maybe heard some people in the past say it's really not that good as it used to be, they were right, because for the convention space we're right back where we are, and even probably better with everything we have actually getting ready to launch for this year with all the things we're doing. So please give us a chance. If you want to take a look at that, please do. And that's in Tucson, June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And then my baby, my show that we started back in 2008, Sabaku, which has been the love and death of my life on a yearly basis. The show that started out the first year was only 1,000 attendees, and 12 years later was 13,000 and change. That is over Labor Day weekend, August 30th through September 2nd this year in the downtown Sheraton in Phoenix. 4 days. And pricing's really not that much different for 4-day shows compared to 3-day shows. The 4-day full event pass is just a little bit higher, but the day passes are pretty much almost what you paid here. Hotels are already open and going as well. We've made some pretty big international band announcements, and we're about a month slower this year with some of our announcements for guests. And the international guest you see us announce this week will let you understand why we've kind of been delayed on trying to wait, because there's a lot more guest budget that we had to expand to make a couple announcements that we're going to have coming. So if you haven't checked out Sabaku, it is a crazy 4-day event that really doesn't stop from the time the doors open on Friday to the time we do closing ceremonies. It's a blast, and the international guests this year just keep on growing. We are going to be announcing some pretty big voice actors as well. We already did announce Miley Flanagan, if you haven't seen that. If you're a Naruto fan, she's Naruto.
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
And we will be announcing some more voice actors right after we do the announcements for the international guests. So please check us out for Phoenix over that weekend as well. And then we're done for the year, thank God. On the anime side, I guess I should say. So next year, Sabaku will be back.
Yeah, it's like it better be.
We will be here, but we will not be in May.
Oh.
Yay!
All right.
May's been one of those months for us that we had to move to it because Konnichiwa had always been in either late March or early April, and we didn't really want to have conventions so close together. So we always kind of had Sabaku move into the May time frame, which kind of hurts because there's a lot of things that are happening here in May, especially in the beginning of the month of May. You have Free Comic Book the first week, Yeah, graduations are actually happening right now. I know I had a couple of event support that had to cut out early for a couple things. And then Mother's Day this weekend. But I hope you all reached out to your mother.
She thought she killed me.
If you didn't, you still got time. You better do it really quick. But so when I worked at the hotel this year, I asked them to give me dates that weren't in the May timeframe, just so that we can kind of find out a better location. So our dates for SabakuCon 2020 will be April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And if you're wondering, it is the weekend before Easter. Because I had a clue who said, oh my God, it's Easter week. And I'm like, I would never run a convention on Easter. Never.
Yeah.
There's already a couple good shows actually that run that weekend that we just put through. So with that being said, please watch our announcements as we open up the hotel room block in the next couple weeks. Watch for all the openings. If you have vendor friends or artist friends, we sold 80% of our vendor hall today. Nice. For the vendors who are here rebuying their spaces. So if you do have people that want to be part of this for 2020, please let them know, hey, watch. We'll be opening up vendor hall sales in 3 weeks on our website. And usually this show sells out pretty quick. So if anybody wants to get into this, please make sure that they kind of keep an eye on it and watch for it when we do open up, because it will go pretty quick. So that being said, you're probably all sitting here going, okay, great, that's great. Let's hear the numbers, please. I want to get the badges, I want the numbers. So, our numbers for SabakuCon 2019.
Okay.
1,800. We grew. And 12. And that's a really good number here, because this is the one show that we kind of watch grow and changing the date so much. And this is the one thing we do want to really fix. We want to be now the first weekend in April moving forward. Any convention that kind of changes their dates and hops around, it's really hard for people to say, I'm taking that weekend up next year. Oh crap, they changed their dates. I already have that weekend up. I guess I ain't going. So I've already worked out with the hotel that we will be the first weekend in April for at least the next 3 years. And hopefully that's what we'll just keep on doing year to year.
Yay. All right.
So, with that being said, honestly, and this is not lip service, thank you guys so much. Thank you for this community. Thank you guys for making this weekend fun. I've had a pretty tough couple months leading into the show. So this weekend kind of really reset me, myself personally, to really get back and really feel the love. And I kind of needed this to kind of get me back to where I was. So I won't go into why it is what it is, but honestly, thank you guys. You really made it easy for me this weekend. I hope you guys had a really great weekend. I hope I see you guys at another show, or at least here next year. Please make a friend between now and the next show. Please help this community grow bigger, have fun, enjoy yourselves. This is your weekend at every one of our shows to be the norm. To be the actual, this is my area, this is my fiefdom, you cannot take me out of it. Make sure you realize that this is your place to enjoy yourself. With that being said, don't forget about the badges up here. Thank you guys so much for an awesome year.